Guarding. Hello? Hello? Okay.
Just don't stop the recording, because you can just edit out stuff,
I guess that's true.
But
I'm
I mean,
lazy
this computer
though.
only has a finite amount of space.
It's an alien.
Hi.
True.
Darkness. You know, it's actually the time period right now is about like sunrise, like the sun would be just rising for so you can have a little light on.
Well, little light, Matt. Please. Little light.
Nothing. It's not
You
plugged
got-
in.
Thank you, Matt.
We're gonna keep this in the
Wait,
recording so
where's
people
mine?
can hear us do the appropriate lighting, even though it doesn't matter for them because, you know, they're not here.
But seriously, guys, that might be a Pathfinder campaign I run. Everybody plays Synthesis Summoners, and I set it in modern day, and we play JoJo's Bizarre.
All
I
right.
really need to see this show
Yes, you do.
You do.
Yeah, you do.
in
Okay.
order to get these references.
Yes. Or else you're gonna feel very alone in the next few conversations.
Damn it.
All right. So to start things off, hello guys. Welcome to Burning Wheel.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
We finished the arc class, so we're starting up a new arc this time. So this is officially Suicide Squad Session 1 is the new arc.
What was the first arc called?
Blood War. This arc's called Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Wasn't it really a blood skirmish? There wasn't. It was 4 guys versus a village.
And we started a war.
You take it as you wish. But we forgot to do this at the end of the last session because we were like kind of. Oh yeah, sorry Chip. If you were extra tired today, I know we kind of went later than you were planning to last night.
No, that's cool. I got a nap.
Okay.
Speaking of which,
You seem a little more awake.
what time do you think we should end tonight, guys? Let's get that straight before we. We'll set a time.
You should set the time, Mike, because you have to get up there earliest.
Yeah.
I have to get up for 8.
Whatever you're more comfortable
Honestly,
with.
let's try and end it by 1, maybe 3 hours.
Sounds good.
Even a little sooner.
If we get to a point where it's like, okay,
Yeah,
we
if
can.
we get to a point where it's kind of like just stop, and then if there's time, we'll let Nathan watch the first episode so he doesn't feel so alone.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks.
So,
You're welcome.
to start things off, we're gonna go and see if anyone wants to change their beliefs or instincts. We'll start with you, Corvus. Is there anything you?
Yes, there is actually.
Has there been quite a big change? So, might be some things that are now irrelevant.
Actually, come back to me so I can decide which ones are more important to get rid of.
Okay. Then next is Lucius. Are there any beliefs or instincts you wish to change before we begin?
Want to change? Yep. Want to change? I will do whatever possible to save as many lives as possible.
Uh-huh.
To do what I feel is the right thing.
Alright. Anything else?
Nope.
Alright. Then, Dolan. Are there any beliefs or instincts you wish to change?
Not really. I'm good.
Alright. And then, Bragan. Nothing?
Nope.
Alright. Back to you, Corvus.
Alright, what's my first belief? I actually just erased it. So
I will destroy the witch doctor and preserve what remains of my squad.
Alright. I'm changing that to all orcs are evil savages, and I will burn them all.
All orcs are evil savages, and I will burn them.
And, I'm gonna change. I will treat my men as cubs. I will preserve the rights of. Well, I'll think of the wording in a second.
You want to just try to get a basic idea out?
Yeah, I will preserve the rights of all intelligent races. Hence, I don't consider orcs an intelligent race.
I got you.
And we'll slaughter any savages with the righteous fury of an angry god.
Slaughter any
And
savage.
Orcs are savages. You're a racist. A racist.
I am the worst kind of racist. The racist who's proud that he's a racist.
Okay.
Let everyone know.
So-
Well, there's one thing about it though. At least he, admits it. He's not a closet racist.
Closet racist.
Yeah.
Or is that
At
in
least he's
denial?
not thinking evil things. He's doing evil
Yeah.
things.
He
Or he's in denial about it?
Yeah, I'm not in denial of what I am.
I'm not evil. I don't think those things.
I'm not racist. I just don't like the way the news is.
How do they even sniff out of those things?
How do they breathe properly?
Okay, so a little recap before we begin. You know, last session we had you guys starting up your plan. You were forced to leave Brogan behind since he had passed out from his recent magical foul up, and y'all went about to set up traps with the plan of Corvus drawing whatever people lurk within the encampment while Dolan and Lucius sneak in and try to find those spider tunnels where the war chief is rumored to be hiding in. Corvus accomplishes this, but draws out not something he might have expected. He draws out the forms of Merrill, Graves, and a young boy, because when they had returned to camp previously, Merrill and Graves were missing, and it seems they've been brainwashed or something and began to attack Corvus. Lucius and Dolan, believing Corvus to be able to handle himself, went into the encampment, keeping with the plan. Inside the encampment, the two of them wandered around a while trying to find these spider tunnels before Lucius decided to call over Fef, and Fef led them to where they needed to go, spiral tunnels being in the war chief's actual tent. Meanwhile, Brogan was awakened before his time by the tears of a young girl. She was crying because her family had been attacked by some sort of monsters. Brogan, kind of out of his element, lied to the girl saying that he will help her, help her find her family, and led her into the woods, where he ran into Corvus duking it with Merrill. Corvus expertly dodged Merrill's wild attempts to kill him and tossed her into a pit.
Sorry, that's not true. I didn't actually dodge her attack. She stabbed me like
Well,
6 times.
You expertly avoided horrible blows. Could have been a lot worse.
Into a pit.
You did throw her in the pit. At the same time, though, the young boy charged at Brogan, and Brogan, fearing for his life, pounced on the boy and tore him asunder right before the girl's eyes.
It's like basically like a Will It Blend episode.
Will it blend? And right after the girl revealed that this boy was her brother, but the girl, seeing that her brother was torn astray, ran off into the woods, and Corvus, totally horrified by what this orc had done, attacked his former comrade, and in one fell blow, knocked out the orc, almost at the brink of his life. At the same time, however, young Graves, pale as a ghost, collapsed himself, and though Corvus tried his best to save him, there was nothing he could do, and Graves passed in his arms. Corvus, disenfranchised by it all, left the scene, and soon ran into Lucius, who was busy dousing out the flames in the encampment in order to start gathering torches for their descent into the tunnels. So Dolan, Lucius, and Corvus all get back together and descend, where they run into the war chief's spider guardians. And while they tried their best to reason with these things and try to form an alliance, the spiders just seemed to be hungry, and they found themselves in heated combat with them. Though each one managed to knock down a spider respectively, in glorious blows of combat. At this point, the war chief reveals himself and completely surrenders to them, explaining to them that while this witch doctor was once his ally, she had turned on him all of a sudden, and that's why everything's been ravaged the way it has. Corvus, deciding that this war chief is useless, lets him leave, but soon afterwards turns on him, and with the combined efforts, well, mostly Dolan, Lucius, and Corvus take out the war chief with his back turned.
Yeah, but I supervised.
Yeah. And they tried their best to make it look like it was done by orcs, so as to not call attention to themselves before leaving him in the pits.
Oh yeah, I forgot I started stabbing him in the back of the head with the dagger.
Stab, stab, stab.
I ordered that. I supervised.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Brogan once again awakens from his unconsciousness, again to the girl crying over him, and he hears the voice of Mama Uja come from her, saying that she has had to dispose of her old body and has taken the form of a crow, and wishes the girl be kept safe with Broggan until she can form enough like magical energy to take her over next. Broggan agrees to this, and and the witch doctor tells him that he needs to go into the kingdom of Garukhan and make plans with the king himself, and that she will lead him there safely. But back to the group of 3. After their whole deals with the war chief, they decided that they need to go check on Meryl and try and find the witch doctor, wherever she may be. Calling Fef again, he informs them that he does know where the witch doctor's cave is, and that he'll keep an eye on Meryl in case she's still alive. So the 3 of them go to the cave, look around a bit, don't see really anything of use. They do smash her staff quite easily, but Lucius notices a makeshift hole that was covered over almost kind of quickly by a leather rug, and pulling it up, you 3 found just piles and piles of what was like hundreds of orcs in this giant hole that was dug under the cave, with Mama Uja herself dead on top of it all. Decided to create a bonfire and burn these bodies before leaving and heading to Meryl to check on her condition. You find her still in the pit, alive, but not for long. The wounds started bleeding again, and while you managed to tend to as much as you can, she was still bleeding heavily, and she was soon to die before the voice of Garuk himself came from above, and he is standing right above the pit. Alright, so we are going to start off with Broggan and the young girl and the crow. The crow leads you out of the cave into the woods a ways, and it's kind of a silent, almost awkward journey. No one's really talking to each other. The girl is not herself anymore. She's vacant-eyed, silent. She holds your hand, but you don't feel any strength in the grip.
Whether she's broken by possibly what I did, or
You're not sure.
A
the
or
spell.
D, all of the above.
Yeah.
Are you
The
thinking about,
smell.
are you thinking about
No, the
apologizing?
spell.
The
smell
He
too.
said smell. I was like,
The
You know what I was thinking?
Because I'm thinking, and I'm sorry when you didn't help at all.
Think
how do you
about
say I'm sorry to ripping your brother's face off in front of you?
Like, I'm serious. It looked like pulled pork after I was done.
think about how many young orc children we've killed, and this
I know. I
orc-
told.
He kills one human
Yeah.
being.
Racist! That's just the character,
It's
man.
like that.
I actually didn't even think of that aspect.
It's just a racist world.
Yeah.
No one's perfect. Alright.
Orcs are lesser
No.
humans in here.
Everyone's
Well,
got
at
their
least our
faults.
children don't bleed acid. That's a little monstrous in my opinion.
It just means we evolved into higher beings.
Okay.
I don't think that's...
You still smell like shit.
While you two walk like
Anyway.
side by side, the crow flies lazily at a slow enough pace so you can keep up without having to run after it. After a while of walking through the woods, you guess it's been about 20-25 minutes. The crow kind of stops on a branch and turns to you and says, I'm getting information that the king has caught up with your friends. He's brought an entourage with him, so if we're going to get there first, we're going to need to pick up our pace. If you'll follow me, I'll take you to where my wolf is, and on his paws, we'll be able to get there much quicker.
Okay.
All right.
Riding a wolf sounds fun.
The crow,
Don't work on a wolf. How will you?
the crow flies off in a direction like opposite. I'm only doing a wolf because it's actually in the books that they write
Maybe-
wolves.
Maybe
Oh,
you
really?
would. I
So
would,
while
yeah,
I'm
I would be so racist. You guys just didn't follow stereotypes so closely.
I know, right?
While I'm waiting, I want to see if I can inspire a little bit of laughter, and I want to.
So you're gonna wait there where the crow flies off?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tickle her.
You gonna tickle her?
Right.
This doesn't sound rapey at all.
I'm just an orc with,
Wait, the little girl.
Yeah.
Your question just made that so much better.
You tickle her for a while, and she doesn't really respond until you decide
Not
to.
for a while, Chip. Will. I just see if I can
For
get
a
her.
while. You know what? I meant like you tickle her for as long as you intended to tickle her. She doesn't react. And when you stop, she kind of turns to you and says, "That hurts."
Hmm.
Like 6 hours later.
Well, I got.
I think I'm thoroughly bruised now.
I think one thing is not leading to another here.
You do anything else?
Yeah, I'm joking.
Tickle her with the same claws, rip their brother's face off.
No, that was it. That was just.
Okay.
With the
Well,
other hand.
again, it's awkward silence
Oh, no,
as you
it
two
was
as you two wait there for the crow to return. But soon enough, you hear the sounds of breaking branches and rustling leaves, and the humongous form of a great wolf steps from the bushes. This wolf looks, while large and intimidating, he looks rather old and kind of scrawny. Some of its fur is missing from its body. You can see rippling muscles and all that, but it looks still like it's got graying hair everywhere. And
it's seen some things.
Yeah.
It's a seasoned wolf.
the crow is riding on top of its head as it enters the small clearing you two are in. She says, "Here, get on. We must make haste."
I do so.
Well, as you approach the wolf, it growls at you.
I hold my hand out and let him come to me. If he decides so. Like the typical thing you do with a new dog.
Right.
Yeah.
The wolf just growls even deeper as you extend your hand at it. The crow says, "Come on, we don't have all day. What are you doing?"
He's growling at me.
"So, show your dominance."
I slap him
You slap him.
as hard as I can.
It is space
Right,
nuts.
right on the snout.
We're part of the space.
The wolf whimpers at your blow and kind of backs down a bit. And just kind of like,
this.
it puts its head on the ground. She says, "Now come on, hurry up, get on." Alright, you see there's already a harness and a saddle on this particular wolf, though those two look rather beaten and worn. The girl climbs in behind you and wraps her arms around your waist tightly so she won't fall off. The crow turns around to you and says, "So, you've ever ridden one of these before?"
Can't say I have, but you know, seems like a fun time.
Just hold on
I will.
tightly. These things are faster than they look. Okay. The wolf. She says, "Clench your thighs against its flank, and I'll make it go."
Okay.
It often does.
You do so, and the wolf takes off in a great lurch. Roll a reflexes check. You get a bonus for gripping tightly.
Gripping tightly.
Gripping tightly. It'll be
thighs.
an obstacle. 3.
Okay.
Grip tightly.
You must make back and forth motions. And also, a little bit of spit helps.
Where's your task and intent, by the way?
I only got one success.
I know. What's your task and intent? You can also spend a fate point to reroll that 6.
So you don't really mess up.
I'm gonna spend that fate point.
And if you tell me what your task and intent is, if you still fail, you can kind of metagame. By
Okay. I'm gonna say I'm gonna try and ride stable enough to where I can ride with no hands.
Ride with no hands.
Because it's fun. I'm having fun right now. But I'm going to spend a fate point
Get clotheslined by a tree branch.
because I have 1 6.
The girl also gets
Okay.
clotheslined.
Alright.
1.
You try to look like you know what you're doing and release your hands, but the kick of this wolf terrifies you deep into your heart, and you end up falling back on it and hugging your arms around its neck for dear life.
Okay. At least I didn't fall
Right.
You do this for most of the journey.
Wanna watch
This wolf, like the witch doctor said, or the crow said, is very, very, very fast. You see trees fly by you in a blur as it tears through the woods. It's not long before you get to the outskirts of the trees, to the rolling plains. And this is the part that's going to take the longest, however. Because when you guys traveled here, it took you guys a couple weeks to get to this particular war chief's encampment, because he was buried deep within his own people. So, you're going to have to do a couple checks before you know you make it there safely. Mostly things like finding food.
Okay.
On the back of this wolf, it'll take you just a few days, but you're going to have to at least make one sort of survival hunting check to get there.
Or can I?
It doesn't stop. It doesn't really stop running until you get hungry, and when you get hungry, it doesn't eat.
Does it know that you're hungry?
You're gonna have to let it know. But I mean, you can always just the witch doctor would tell you how to make it stop and all that. It only stops when you get hungry. Stop running, you stupid shit.
Alright, so hunting would go off of agility or perception?
You can do hunting or survival or.
Well, I have
you
hunting
trained
already,
hunting?
already being trained.
Let me look.
It's not finished,
Not finished.
but
Tell me your task and intent also, in case you happen to fail. It's either your perception or your agility, whatever I would guess is highest.
I'd like to say while we are stopped, just so I can make the best time, I'm trying to quickly find food, just something to
Shove down your
keep me
gullet.
sated.
I got you. Alright, so it's either your perception or your agility, whichever one you prefer to use. So normally whichever's the highest, because that would be the lowest exponent. You have to.
Agility? I got 6.
Alright. So you only need 4 tests to get a B3 hunting.
It's not a high obstacle?
Oh.
I mean, because I don't have it trained yet.
It's going to be doubled. I'm going to say it's obstacle 4 when it's doubled.
Okay. Just making sure it wasn't high.
High.
Shit. Oh. I only rolled 3.
Hey, Matt, can you angle the light just a little bit? Okay.
Hunting these plains is not the easiest thing. A lot of these things see you coming before you can get to it, and you waste an extra day having to scavenge for food in this horrible hunting area. But regardless, you make it to the you eventually make it to the kingdom. This kingdom is very, very large. It's nestled between 2 mountains, and its backside breaks off into the sea itself. It's rather large and intimidating, made out of bright yellow stone, the same stone that was rumored to be found within the mountains themselves when it was created. You get to the outskirts of it, and the crow lands back on the wolf's head, the wolf having stopped, and she says, "This is where we get off. I'll lead you through the sewers to the king himself, and from there you will make your plans with him."
Okay.
All right. You step off the wolf. The wolf runs back to wherever Mama Ujo wished it to go, and the 3 of you make your trek down to the kingdom. She leads you to one of the sides of the gates itself, one of the sides of the walls that kind of leads almost into the sea. But you see like a grate, and that kind of almost goes down to the ground. You see water coming from the kingdom and kind of trickling into this rather large grate. And Mama Uja kind of goes to the girl, lands on its shoulder, and kind of like picks around in her pockets before she produces an old rusted key. And the beak, handing it to you with her beak, saying, "Use this on the grate and go down. Keep following it straight until you get to a door. Knock once and say your name.
Okay.
And take the girl with you."
I guess, would I have to say I carefully walk through this area? Because I'm not sure, like...
Well, she's leading you. She's kind of keeping an eye out for you with her bird's eye view, helping
Okay.
you out so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, she says, I'll find you again when I need you.
Okay.
And she flies off.
All right. So I guess I go into the grate
All right.
and I guess I'll bring the little girl too. I guess that's the whole point.
That's what Mama Wuja asked you to do.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I continue down the I guess a corridor.
And you go down, you open the grate and step down into the murky.
Oh, so
It's like almost like a sewer, but just like you see when you go into it, it's a pretty wide expanse, like a pretty wide canal, and you see to the right and to the left of you it branches off into smaller canals, but following her
probably
directions.
the main waterway.
Yes, you go straight down this waterway. You go down for a while. You don't see the end of it yet, but even with your vision of the dark, it's so like long. You don't see the end of it just yet. But as you're walking down, over the splashing of you and her feet in the water, you begin to hear a low moaning sound, like a.
I look at the girl. To see, oh, sorry. I look at the girl to see if it's her.
She's just staring down at the ground, expressionless as usual. Her hand still grasping yours. You hear as you focus, the moaning. It bounces off the walls, so it sounds like it's coming from everywhere. But it does sound kind of far away, further down this tunnel you're walking down.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ready my claws.
Claws.
Just in case. I'm
Do you
gonna make a
release the-
roll for like. Is there anything that I would be able to roll to kind of be more aware?
That'd be your observation.
Okay. I'm already trained in that, so that goes off of perception, of course.
You're trained in observation?
No, I'm training it.
Oh, you're training it.
So I am rolling with the intent to be more cautious of my surroundings and try and get a hand up
Of
in
where it
whatever
is.
might be. Yeah.
Like, I gotcha. All right. With the echoing wall, with the echoing noise, it's going to make the obstacle a little harder. It would normally be a 3, but since you're untrained, it's a 6.
Well, I'm gonna roll just to make the test, but I only have 3 dice.
And unfortunately, because this is observation, you need successes to count towards.
So now I'm
tests.
just like, I don't know, man. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, you try to pinpoint where this thing is to try and be more cautious, but it's just this canal is way too wide. These walls just way. It's like there's nothing in here, so the echoes are just bouncing off as they will. You can't
Yeah.
pinpoint where this thing is at all.
So I guess I'll just say I continue down the walkway,
All right,
not speeding up or going slower. Because I mean,
I got
either
you.
way, if it's gonna hit me, it's gonna hit me.
All right.
And there's no way to
Well,
tell.
Thanks to your vision in the dark, you do see quite a ways down this canal, and as you keep going down, it's not long before you hear these moans coming louder and louder and louder. They sound less like moans and more like sobbing, really, really heavy sobbing, like someone's crying their heart out. But as you walk down, you see some kind of figure. It's hard to tell exactly. It looks like half its body is submerged in this water, like it's like sitting down and its face is just in the water. You see long hair kind of, floating on this water as it's just dunked itself. But you still hear this crying coming around you, but it sounds much louder now, like it's coming from this thing.
Okay, I'd like to ready my javelin. Put the girl behind me.
She grabs onto your loincloth. With one hand. And since you're not holding your hand, she's holding onto your loincloth.
All right, I need to get some clothes if I'm gonna dance with this girl. I need, like robes.
Oh, now you're thinking about the girl.
Hey man, people.
I mean, I have to make it convincing if I'm gonna fuck something up, or I can choose to just accompany Mama with you. But anyway, so I put the girl behind me and I ready a javelin as if I'm about to throw it, and I call out to the creature, inching closer ever so slightly.
What do you say?
Is this where I need to be? Or who are you?
You hear this? Is this where I need to be? Who are you? You hear the sobbing just abruptly stop when you speak, and you watch as the thing kind of slowly raise its head out of the water.
All right, I throw it.
Throw it. All right, as you raise its head, out of the water, you throw it. So,
I'm the one who makes judgment calls based on looks.
so
Well,
do you have a
no.
do you have a javelin skill or is it a throwing skill with your javelin?
I have a javelin skill, but I don't know
if that'd be.
I think javelins are just considered throwing.
Like-
and
I mean,
like
the whole
if-
point of a javelin is to throw it, otherwise it's a spear.
Yeah, we've had this
Yeah, but I'm
discussion
sa-
before.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you just roll your javelin skill when you do this. Like
That's
when
what
you
I
did
figured.
when you hit that crow that one time.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I remember stuff. Alright, so roll your javelin skill.
Can I roll an observation skill first to see if I can get a pinpoint on them, or to see if like I can get a hand up? Like,
Unfortunately, I'm going to say that your observation skills are going to be let it ride since you're still within the same scene.
okay.
You're still just kind of
That's
just combobulated by the horrible smells, the echoing noises. It's just this is not what you're used to being in. You're in.
Sensory deprivation.
All right, so I throw it at his face.
Obstacle 3 to hit this thing.
God damn, what is wrong with my rolls, man?
Oh no!
Can I have some out of that cube? Oh, here.
All right, you throw your javelin, but you were kind of just you did it out of abrupt fear. You weren't really trying to get a good hit on it. You throw it,
Bounce.
and yeah, it sails past her, and you hear it echo off one of the sides of the walls. It makes a loud, abrupt noise as duds as this, and you hear the moans coming back, but now they kind of lead into a horrifying, angry scream as the thing just lurches out of the water and starts speeding in your direction.
Okay, is there enough space to throw another?
Now burn it.
Yeah, you have. I'm going to increase the obstacle, but you can throw one more javelin at it.
Are you able to tell me what the obstacle would be?
It's 4 now.
Yeah, I only have 4 dice for it.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Okay, so would that be a difficult test?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Well, it depends. If you're gonna do this one, you can pick which test you want to take. Did I
Really?
get rid of the? Yeah. Because you can only get one test, but if you do like different types, you get to pick. I can't give you multiple tests because it's the same scene unless you do something else. All right, so you were rolling 4 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Obstacle 3, it would have been a routine test against obstacle 4, which it is now, would be a difficult test. You get to pick. If you're going to do this next throw, you get an option between routine or difficult.
But I have to pick beforehand.
No, you can make your throw, and then like I was gonna.
Oh, and
we
once-
usually do our tests after this whole scene's played out.
Okay,
Or-
all right. I'll just do that.
okay. You can try.
Okay,
and
so
throw
I'm
one
gonna
more
try
time?
and throw another. And where's it? It's right here.
How far away are you?
They're like she's gaining. She's
Okay.
coming in fast, but they're about a good 30 feet away from each other. The only reason you've got so far because of his
Focus,
night vision
focus.
is the only reason that they have this distance.
Jesus. Okay. Can I spend a fate point?
If you have a fate point, you can.
Yep. Down to 2. Alright. Nope. Okay, I got 2 successes.
Okay.
How strong are orcs in like hand to hand? Are they like naturally a lot stronger than like other creatures, or
Oh yeah.
I think so.
Typically they're like.
They have pretty good
of the
power.
strongest races.
so he can hang with like most in melee?
I mean,
It depends on what you pick as skills and shit.
yeah, I mean he's like a caster still. You gotta remember that he's a caster, so that might inherently make him a little bit weaker physically. But it
Yeah.
all depends on what you pick.
In this game, casters kind of feel like what's the point?
Well, I mean that's special. Like each type, because you have your caster technically, but you are a song sword, so
Oh,
you're
song-
mad.
Okay.
The humans have magical abilities too, and some of them are instant. Like you can, a human has ability where you can like make slivers of the earth just appear and start stabbing into you. It's like
Human.
yeah, stuff like that. Some orc magic just requires some downtime
Yeah.
to prepare.
Which is really hard to play.
Speaking
Yeah.
of orc magic, I had a question real fast. Nathan, that power you used on me to incite whatever a bunch,
Mm-hmm.
how long does that last?
It doesn't really say, I don't think.
Is it only a scene, or is it 24 hours? Because I mean, technically, if it lasts for a long time, I should technically still be under it, and it can really change. How
I mean,
I think it's just kind of like
I don't think it lasts.
if there's
too
anything
long.
that exists in your mind,
Yeah,
any
no.
doubts in your
Because I
mind.
remember Will in one of our sessions was like, the effects of it have faded by this point. Because I remember one of us had a question about something.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Basically the same question.
I'll look it up so we can know like exactly what like worm tongue. Oh, they don't get more details about it. Maybe I just made up a time limit because I would imagine it wouldn't stay for very long. I mean, it's like the lowest spell you can cast, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't last for maybe more than like a scene or so, depending on how long the scene is. All right, so you try to hurl another javelin, but you're still working on panic mode here, and once again, Sales past her, she lurches on you. So you have a choice. You can either, if you want, we can either do this as bloody versus, or we can do this as a straight up combat, whatever one you prefer to use.
No, bloody versus.
Bloody versus? Okay.
No. Bloody versus.
Oh,
What does that go off of? That just goes off of your.
like you pick a thing you're going to attack with, you get the dice for the thing, and then I tell you if you get any advantage dice for your attack and defense, and you split those dice into those pools. We roll off, and whoever gets a hit is normally the victor. And then if both of us get hits, then we have to see what happens after that.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'd like to equip my ceremonial knife.
Okay. She's just going to be clawing at you with her hands.
You doing bloody verse?
No.
Are you?
I'm planning on doing the. Actually, yeah, bloody versus.
Okay. Sometimes I'm not going to give you guys an option. I just think this one can go either way depending on what you prefer. But if it's a really important fight, I'm going to force it into a fight because it's just more
Yeah, makes sense.
dramatic. All right. So get your skill with you're going to do your claws?
No.
Knife, okay.
Knife.
So get your knife skill and get those dice together and split them up into attack and defense. You have to have at least one dice in each one.
What kind of casting do you have?
He's got a lot of spells.
Rituals of
just,
blood. I have to make rituals though.
Yeah, you just gotta like.
They
if
take
you, like,
hours depending on what they are.
Yeah, you gotta know. You gotta like kind of expect trouble and prepare for it ahead of time. Basically.
Could you like preload
Yeah,
all
you-
of your spells?
I don't know if all of them. I know you. I know you can
Probably the weaker
preload a
ones,
spell.
or like when you have a higher affinity for it.
You can like
You
get
probably-
really close to the. I know at least for humans they can do a thing where they can have a spell ready, and then if they really concentrate hard enough, they can hold on to the very last word, and then wait until they're in the thick of combat and say like, "Finish my spell."
Yeah, but
Oh,
so basically
okay.
they can't talk until that, though, otherwise they mess with the spell.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
I
the
think with your
rituals
rituals-
would be different because, like, yeah, he might be chanting,
Oh,
but he also has to
Yeah,
do
that-
something
yeah.
else.
Yeah.
And you have to sacrifice something. So
Aye,
I imagine the
bitch.
sacrifice would be the.
It's Animos.
Oh.
I got you. All right, so you got your dice. You're using a dagger, so we don't get any bonuses because we're both the same.
No, I'm using a ceremonial knife.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying like
I
it's.
don't know if it's any different. It's just.
I was just talking about the reach. Like we both are in like close
okay.
quarters, so we don't have advantages over each other. Blah blah blah. Neither of us are wearing armor, so that doesn't matter.
Is that
All right,
Family Guy?
probably. What's your stride, Mr. Brogdon?
Yeah, we're talking about that. He said he watched all episodes of Family Guy and American Dad completely.
I mean, me and Matt did.
Where
that.
would I see stride?
He was watching Futurama for a while. I don't know if you
Oh,
finished
yeah.
it though.
Yeah, he said he watched all Futurama too.
Oh Jesus. I'm sorry. What stride? It's like it's kind of hidden. It's right there. 7.
Oh, okay, 7.
Her stride 7, so no advantages with that for either of us.
Hey, are my superficial and mortal wounds
They
healed?
got the,
More so than family.
Or am I just walking
they
around?
got all
Of
that.
course.
I used to. Like,
Oh no, yeah, all your stuff's gone is
Dude, I
fixed
used to hate
because of this
Family
girl's
Guy
tears.
until like
What a sweetheart.
2009.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I like
What's
the
your
new episodes
reflexes?
better than the old ones.
4.
What's this?
American Dad though. I used to.
Okay,
suck.
you get a bonus
No.
die
No.
because you have
Yeah,
higher
it's great.
reflexes in
American
this
Dad for me
thing.
has been hilarious.
So you can
Going
put that in
through-
your attack or defense
No,
as
it's
you see
great.
fit.
I have audibly laughed.
And then if you have
At
any
least
forks
3
you want
times
to tell
in
me
my
about,
life.
if you can make a case for it, you can
That
fork
I've
into
seen.
stuff into this.
I love American Dad so much.
I'm gonna give her a bonus dice just because she's charged at you, so she has the umph. And she's gonna split.
Okay, could I argue that I know how to butcher things because I have a 3 in butchery?
You do know how to butcher things.
Go ask him what to say.
I'll give
Like
you
the
that
little
fork.
girl's little
Okay.
brother. Or older
Yeah.
brother.
Is Isn't their house flooded?
And I would also like to put
American Dad.
I
house
am
flood,
lynx
it's
eyed,
like a
so
storm.
that would
Yeah.
you know, make me
Stands, messed everything up.
I think that's really the only thing that I
You
would
wanna
want to
hit
try and
his
argue.
wife with a spear.
I'd say your link
Everything
side
else.
just means you don't get any
At one point,
negatives. I wouldn't give you a positive.
No,
just
that
being like,
yeah, I was just bringing that up. 'cause
Yeah.
It's like a
I
year
remember.
old
It sounded
problem.
funny.
Alright, so she's gonna have 3 in her attack
I haven't
and 1 in
seen
her
a lot of
defense.
recent
That's-
stuff.
So
Okay.
roll your attack real quick. Roll your attack dice. In these you can put
Fake points.
fate points into if you wish.
No thanks.
She got 1 success on thing, but you still beat her by 1. And then your defense and her attack. She got 1 success. You
I
got
got
1
one
success. So she doesn't hit you, you hit her. So that means you defeat this creature.
Where?
Tell me how you do it.
Creature is-
We kind of tussle around. She, of course, lazily swipes through the air, or
Yeah.
frantically, but lazily.
She's like really trying to get at you, but
Yeah,
these
yeah.
blows don't seem to be like trained at all. She's just slashing at you with incredible speed and range,
And
but
through these
too limber.
crazy swipes. I'm trying to see.
Get
I'm
an
dodging
opening.
and trying to see when I can get a good hit, and finally I see an opening. And slice it.
across the neck.
Yeah.
All right.
What kind of creature is it?
You don't know. Nobody knows. You slice it across its neck, but you don't see blood come out of it. But the thing still kind of like grasps at its neck and it falls backwards and with a loud splash. And you see it kind of writhing in the ground. It's not dead, but it's not attacking you either anymore. But you hear it like screaming and screeching and gurgling in the water.
Just to make sure it doesn't get back up, I'd like to walk over and stomp on its head,
All right. You
telling
do
the little
so.
girl to close her eyes.
You do so. You stomp on its head and it squishes into you like a ripe pumpkin, and just you see like goo parts and hair and brain matter just float on the water.
Okay.
Okay.
Is she still moving?
No, it stopped moving.
Okay.
All right. So
Could I loot for his looting thing and try and...
you can still loot. You can see if there's anything on it.
I'd like to try and see if there's anything on this strange
Well,
creature.
While you inspect this creature, it seems to be wearing pretty common clothes like shirt, pants, like it, and it,
But it has a disease.
a disease. You find fine jewelry on this person. You find necklaces and rings and a few gold pieces stashed away in a gold pouch. Other than that, it doesn't seem to have anything of like too significant value. A bunch of jewelry and gold.
Okay, I'd like to take the gold.
All right, it is. It's going to give you, since this is a little different than like Pathfinder, this is going to give you, I'll say 1 cash on hand dice. Cash on hand stuff you can use for, what is it called?
So just write that some. Oh, okay. I see cash, funds, and
Resources.
loans. So
Yeah, just
obviously.
do 1 die cash on hand, and it's used for like resources tests, or if you want to buy something, you need cash on hand or have a resources exponent.
Okay.
Okay.
Um.
Oh my god.
That's about it.
All right.
I'd like to.
The girl walks back over to you and just grips your hand softly. After you've done looting this
That's depressing.
thing.
You upgrade your skills.
Right.
Yeah, it was she had 4 dice. What was your total we were using for your knife?
5.
4 on 5 is challenging test. Yeah, challenging test for your knife. I must have thrown away the little strips of paper. Let's rip up some more. No.
What does your knife do?
3. I got +1 from butchering. Wait. Where did I get that other +1? Oh, didn't you say you gave both
Because
of us
you
a-
had high
oh,
reflexes.
That's what it was. Okay.
Alright, so what do you do now?
I guess we continue on until we find the door.
Alright.
Knock on.
Well, you walk down further, and you start to see the door appear at the end of this.
Oh shoot.
What is what?
Can I go back and pick up my javelins? Because there's
Oh, yeah,
javelins.
They seem to be relatively unharmed.
Brush them off. Get the goo off. And do the...
Yeah, they're pretty dirty. Alright, well, you walk down this corridor for a little while longer, and you begin to see through your lynx eyes the door appear at the end, at the top of some stone steps. But you also see around you on the sides are more of these things that you had defeated earlier, but they're not moving. You hear kind of soft moans coming from them, but it looks like there's just bodies of these things just lazing up against the sides of the walls of the sewer, just kind of sitting there in the mucky water. Most of their heads are bowed down. Some of them have their faces in the water like the one you saw earlier, but as you splash on by, you don't let them really pay you any mind.
So, again, I'll ask, what would something be to be wary? Would that still be like an observation, or?
To be wary, like just keep your eye out. I mean, you just say you're keeping your eye out.
Okay.
And
I'll just keep my eye out, make sure I don't see any of them move.
All right. Keep on going towards the door then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Some of them kind of, you keeping your eye out. Some of them you see kind of lift their heads up at you, but they seem generally disinterested. You do see their faces though. They're very wrinkled, like very pruny. The skin that's left on them, and some of them are bloated for being in the water for so long. They look generally sickened and diseased, but none of them get up to attack you like that one did. They just kind of look up at you for a second, and then look back down at the water. A few of them, not all. And eventually you make it to the stone steps leading up to the door. The girl's still holding your hand all the way.
I knock once, then say Prague.
All right. Immediately the door swings open and you're flooded by light that kind of blinds you for a second, but it's quickly blocked over by a large figure dressed in pitch black armor. It's got kind of spiky doodads to it to make it look more intimidating. It wears a helmet that conceals its face, more spikes coming up from it, and it's holding in its hand a very red, intimidating looking sword. And the thing lets out in a gruff voice, "Hello."
Hello?
You here to see the king?
I'm actually just here to spread the word about,
Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Oh, wait, no, you don't have that.
okay, I'd like to, say I'm here on Mama Wuja's behalf.
The thing kind of rolls its shoulders and says, "Are you loyal to the king?"
I suppose I could be. He's one of my own kind.
And you are orc?
Yes, sir.
Prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
As you contemplate, it walks up and grabs your wrist, pulls out a knife, and kind of, it's a little, not like
That's what I was
a little
thinking, but
nick, and kind of brings your wrist up to it before giving it back to you and says, "Follow me." Turns around, close the door behind you. Right. Stepping into the room from the sewer, it's very, very, very strange change of pace. It's lit by, there's a fireplace to one side, which is causing all the light. And you see it's like a cozy little room. You see like couches and furniture and shelves of books, and looks like someone's little rest area. This large black knight kind of just strides on through, going towards another door to the side. He opens it up, and you see a very fine, rugged, like has a rug over it, staircase that kind of winds up to one side, going up to somewhere. It says,
Who is the owner of this place?
"Who do you think? The king will be waiting for you up top."
King. Alright, anyway, I go up.
Alright, you close the door behind you. Looking up, this stairwell leads very, very high up to the top. But you make your way up the stairs, and you finally get to the top of this, I guess what looks like a tower from the inside. You get to the very top room, and this room looks more like someone's study. It's got more books, but also a large desk, another roaring fireplace, nice rug, nice furniture, some like clocks and other
It's like
doodads.
basically what I see all around.
Yeah. And sitting at the desk is an orc you've seen before, the one who glue brightly, though his light's a little more dimmed right now, as he sits there kind of looking over some papers, is King Garuk. He looks up at you and smiles warmly, and he says, "Ah, my good Bragan, return to me at last. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, my lord.
And it's good to see you brought the young girl with you." He steps up in his full form. He's much taller than you, like a good head and shoulders. He's very fair and statuesque, even for an orc. There's no, like, he's not hunched over, he doesn't have any scars, any blots or boils. He looks perfectly serene as he walks over to you and kneels down and kind of like picks up the girl's chin, kind of like inspecting her before smiling again and stepping back and says, "So, I've heard you run into some trouble with your comrades. Care to explain how that all happened?"
Well, okay, so hopefully, being of the same race that I am, you would be able to understand my point of view. I was going along with them. We were happening upon a lot of orc children from Mama Wuja. This was before I even knew who Mama Wuja was. And she's attacking us, so we killed them. And, I didn't think anything of it because I figured if they're already, attacking us and going crazy, then they probably aren't going to be able to be reasoned with. So then, all of a sudden, the thing that really set everybody, or one person off to kill me, is I was being attacked by a human boy this time, but he looked pretty much in the same way as the orc children that attacked us before. So I eviscerated it, and all of a sudden, one of our acquaintances, Corvus, he killed me, or severely wounded me, anyway.
The king laughs when you say this. "Ha ha ha ha! Killed you, but you're standing right before me. What, are you a new arisen god too? Do we must quarrel over who owns this kingdom?"
Well, you can keep the kingdom.
Well, I want to
You just gotta believe me. And when it gets stronger, can I? No.
So, you killed orc children, human children, and one of your comrades killed you. That this all seemed to boil down to one thing. Your commander, that Merrill bloodletter, disobeyed my orders and went straight for the war chief. If that didn't happen, none of this would happen. I blame none of you for acting as you did. You were all merely trying to survive.
She was everybody was saying that she was kind of power hungry, I suppose. Or not power hungry, but just very
Glory Hound.
yeah.
You do know the names they spread about her down in... Well, I guess you do not. Many of my soldiers call her the Suicide. In short, she has been systematically killing off many of my good men that's been under her. And I've been trying very hard to beseech my generals to remove her. But, alas, it just had to culminate in this. But
She's I'm pretty sure she's not any longer with us anymore. So
that's good to hear. But anyways, we don't need to worry about this. None of this is your concern anymore. They'll be dealing with the fallback of what Merrill has done. What I need from you, Brosgan, I know you've had trouble with them, but I need you. I need you to stick with the squad. But seeing as how one of them tried to kill you, it probably wouldn't be best to be around them as you anymore.
that's what I was thinking myself.
Well, Broggan, as you might have seen, I am not a god, but I speak for a god. He flows through me, and there's many things I can do. one of these things is to change your form, make you into something that you're not. Of course, you'll still be you deep down inside, and I can always change you back if I see fit. I'll be generous even. You have your choice. Man, elf, dwarf, anything you wish. I would not say orc, as I feel that this mission has caused some of your comrades to not feel very highly of our people.
I would agree. I'm actually embarrassed.
I should warn you though, this change cannot go back. Once we do this, this new half of you will always be a part of you. I can change you back, but sometimes there are drawbacks to trying to be two people at once.
Out of character, really quick. It's not going to change my abilities or anything.
No, you're just going to appear as somebody else.
Okay. I still have the experiences, so.
It changes personality.
I don't think so. This is just like putting on a costume.
So at least I understand what can change about him.
Yeah, once you change him back.
Who knows? God's work in mysterious ways.
Honestly, I actually don't. All my life, I've kind of alienated myself away from the rest of the orcs because, you know.
That's why I've chosen you in the first place, Broggen. You're different. I like different. That's why I want to keep you. That's why I want you to be with me.
All right, but I think it'd be most. Someone had to say it. But,
I didn't like where I was going.
I think I will choose to be I guess appear as a dwarf.
A dwarf, huh? Well,
What?
Unexpected.
some background information then. Most of the dwarves that live within my kingdom come under one family. Not all of them are blood. Any dwarf that comes within the kingdom comes for one purpose, to be part of this family, for they hold much riches and power within my kingdom. Below the ground still, but they provide many of our more powerful arms and armor. So if you become a dwarf, you'll have to find some way to be part of this family, otherwise you won't fit in. I can lead you to him. I'll give you a word of recommendation,
Right.
but the rest falls onto you.
Okay. What if I just said that I traveled here to to get a foot in the door with one of the daughters of this family and marry one of them to get in the family?
That's possible. These dwarves, however, think very highly of themselves. Unless you come from some power or wealth of your own, you'll find hard pressed to win off one of their daughters. You can become one of their workmen. They always are looking for a pair of hired hands. You can work your way up if you so see fit.
Okay. I guess I can join that. If that's the most convincing thing.
Yes, you may do that, but also I'm going to put you into my army, for I still need you as a soldier. That's the only way you can stay close to the other soldiers that I'm keeping an eye on.
Okay.
Alright then. He kind of, he raises up his hand, and the hand glows brighter than the rest of them. And he says, "Now brace yourself, Broggen. This is going to hurt a lot." And he brings his hand to your chest, and you feel a horrible, horrible burning as he does this. He presses his hand more against your chest, and the burning increases and the pain increases. You fall to your knees from the pain, in fact, but he keeps his hand pressed against you until the burning just stops. And he brings his hand back, and he says, "It is done."
I look down.
You look down, you are much shorter than you were before, much more stumpy, but more burlesque and beefy. You still wear a loincloth, which doesn't really fit you quite well. You kind of have to hold it up to your sides to keep it from falling down. You're also a lot hairier and paler, and you feel very, very out of place
Do I
right
have
now.
a beard?
You do have a beard.
What have I done?
It's very long and...
He went from the biggest race you can be to the shortest.
No, I'm just shorter. I understand, but they're like
I didn't know
petite.
gnomes were a playable character.
What?
They have a rodent, which is like little rat people. I don't have the. They're from a different book. I have
Oh,
to get the other
okay.
book. I was probably gonna get it actually because it has more monsters and stuff you guys can fight.
That'd be
Anyways, so yeah, you look down and you do have a beard. It's very light blonde and it kind of just flows down to your, crotch area.
Mhm.
So long and glorious.
cool. So, King, would you be able to help me get appropriate garb? Maybe a robe or something, seeing as how I'm still
Oh yeah,
a
you also
caster.
see a shape on your chest of a black hand just kind of seared into your chest, like a horrible scar. And the king looks at you and smiles and says, "Why, yes, of course." And he walks over to a wardrobe and opens it, and inside is more like a closet than a wardrobe. It's
Not worth it, too.
deeper inside. It's way too big inside to really like make
Narnia?
sense. Yeah, like Narnia. It's like a long, expansive closet that goes down. And he says, "Come with me. I'll find you appropriate attire, and then we will begin discussions on your new life as a dwarf."
Before we choose, is there a variety of colors that I can select from?
Why, of course, dwarves enjoy showing off and being flashy.
Okay. All right.
All right then, let us begin. It leads into the closet. That's where we're gonna pause
Should be like a penguin.
No. Django Unchained.
it.
Bright blue and white.
All right, we'll bring it back to you three.
Tommy gun in one hand.
Corvus and Lucius sitting in the pit with Meryl, Dolan standing right above it. Dolan, in fact, you didn't even hear the king coming. He just was there right next to you all of a sudden. But you do hear noises behind you, some like light talking and shuffling. You look behind you and you see like a gathering has come, like an entourage. There's a couple knights that are like a little ways behind you guys, dressed in black with spikes coming out of their armor and looking rather intimidating, standing there. Behind them are men on horses. There's about 4 of them dressed in similar garb to you three. There's 2 dressed similar to these 2 and 2 dressed similar to you. More soldiers, it looks like. And behind them is a large caravan being pulled by a total of 5 horses. Like 2 horses and 1 horse being like
And
the
front.
driver, yeah. With another soldier sitting on top of that. But Garuk says what he said last session and climbs down into the pit, looking between the 3 of you, Lucius, Meryl, and Corvus. His eyes fall on Meryl before looking to Corvus and says, "May I?" He walks over and kneels down before, kind of inspecting, kind of muttering under his breath as he does, the wounds on her shoulder and her thigh before placing his hand on her thigh. You see a bright glow come from beneath it before he quickly brings up his hand. You see the bleeding has stopped. And while she still looks pretty in bad shape, she's not bleeding anymore. He says, "I'm sorry, I wish I could do more, but not even my powers can get through the acts of demons. Now, I would like you both to come with me. We're returning back to the kingdom. You have some questions we need answers."
We have questions that need answers.
We have questions that need answers.
Yes, my lord.
Sure. Just do you mind giving us a few moments to gather our things?
Of course.
So Merle is dead.
No, she's alive. He gathers Meryl up in his arms and looks over to Lucius and says, "Young lad, you mind helping me up here?"
Yeah, of course. I'm on. No.
Please.
Of course, my lord.
You push the king up and with Meryl to get up out of the pit. You see Dolan sees soldiers coming to gather up Meryl and start bringing her to the caravan itself.
My king.
Yes.
our poor medic was sadly killed. We've had to, Corvus had to bury him in a shallow grave.
Well-
I'm hoping that it'd be possible to bring his body back for a proper burial.
But of course, if that is alright with all of you, I will have my men gather him up, and we'll give him the proper burial of all my soldiers.
Can I speak to you two for a second? I want
Well, take all the time you need, but we must be off soon.
Excuse us, my king.
I don't think this is good.
Why is it not good?
They have questions to ask us. I don't think this is going to end well for us at all.
You think it's that they weren't more upfront about it, or they're just being a little too secretive with their questions?
I think what they're going to do is they're going to drag us into a field and hit us for treason. Honestly, we were led on a mission that was against orders anyway. I mean,
If they wanted to kill us, they would have already done it by now.
not if they want to make an example out of us.
Plus, it's not really our fault for following orders of our superiors.
It's just out of character. Did that help the Nazi people who said that?
Probably help them feel better.
Yeah, I think they still got executed.
Feel better about themselves.
Okay, thank you, Gary. It just doesn't matter what we think or how we feel. If they want all the other soldiers to fall in line, they'll happily chop our heads off and watch them roll.
So what do you suggest we do?
Well, I guess all I need is one example. Because, look, you guys can get this straight. You guys can clear your name somehow, I'm sure of it. And as long as they have one of us, they probably won't chase us. I just think that right now, I gotta do what I always have done and be the distraction. So you two can do your jobs and survive just a little bit longer.
I disagree.
I know you don't like it, but I really don't care about your opinion right now. I'm looking at the facts.
So am I. The fact is, our king has told us to come back. And I don't know about you, but I'm relishing at the chance to get out of this shithole and back to real civilization.
And what happens once you're there?
Things go back to normal.
That's what you hope. That's what I hope. God, I hope I'm wrong. But something in my gut tells me it's right. I don't trust him. Why come all the way out here for a squad, a suicide squad, a squad that's meant to die, a squad that no one normally comes back from the missions from, and if they do, they only last 3 or 4 tops.
Yeah, that's a great question. And we should ask him that when we get back to the city. Safely. I'm not saying to trust him.
But I'm saying you're giving him all the cards. By going in that carriage with him, by going in that caravan, by letting him keep tabs on us, you've given him the key to lock you up right then and there. There's no escape after that point.
Well,
Look,
I've got my lockpick right here. I pat my shoulder.
yeah. As much as I don't trust the guy, and as much as I don't like where this is going, he's got a god on his side. Do you see how he glows? I mean, that's not natural.
Would you rather fight for the answers or run and hide and never know?
I'm not asking you to run and hide forever. I'm saying make sure you've got all your shit together so you can get those answers.
As you guys are talking, we'll get to this end of the conversation here. One of those knights dressed in black steps up and says, "Alright, that's enough squabbling with you two. Come on, King needs some questions answered now."
To which I stand. Is it one of the Black Knights?
The ones with all the pointy armor and whatever.
Earlier, I'm pretty sure I heard the king say you two, as in he wasn't really talking to me. Not the king. Like
No,
what?
he's the king.
What?
He's the king.
Yeah. Well, like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard that unless you misspoke.
Could have misspoken. He was. I think he's saying the two of them because they were in the pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were out already amongst the people. They
I
were
was
still in the
thinking-
pit with Mary. Well, they're still in the pit by themselves.
I was
At the
thinking
very
he wasn't
least-
thinking of me.
Oh, he's thinking of.
If you're a prisoner, like you're not exactly high on the list of people that need to come back.
Trying to remember my character's motives from the beginning. It's to
Help
serve
Goofy.
this to get my freedom.
Yeah.
Because I'd be in jail.
Yeah, you'd be.
Goofy. Don't
Oh,
forget
right.
Goofy.
Yeah.
And Pluto.
So anyway, I pull Lucius to the side real fast and I say, I know you don't like it. I know you don't trust Easy. But I need you to just trust me once. If shit hits the fan, I'm willing to sacrifice myself so you guys can go. I just have to ask you one thing. Are you prepared to take care of Bosco for me?
Oh,
Or should I leave that to
I
Dolan?
forgot all about Bosco.
Of course. Of course, I'll take care of Bosco.
Honestly, you'd probably be better off leaving it with a human. That human, specifically.
Fair enough. I hand Bosco.
He's like a pug.
Yeah, he's a bug. I don't know when the shit's gonna hit the fan. It could happen at any time, so I'll let you carry him.
Bosco has been quiet for quite a while. He's not dead or anything, but the dog is a lot less chipper than when you guys first entered the woods. He's very morose, and even when he's in Chip's arms, he just kind of lays there.
I'll let you guys know if anything goes down. I'll go in first for questions. I'll give you guys a signal if it's time to go.
As far as the guard being right next to us,
Hi.
I
He doesn't hear you. I know, I'm just...
I shove him over and be like, sure, you have a conversation.
no.
Who you talking about?
Because I'm about to do that. Legitimately, I was about to do that. I put my hand on his armor and push him back a step or two and say, we're going to finish our conversation and you're going to walk away.
The knight clenches his hands and says, "No, you come to the king. The king wants to speak with you. You answered him, or you answered my sword."
Pull your sword out and see what happens. You really think the king would come all the way out here to retrieve us just to have you get into a fight with me? Back the fuck off.
Listen, elf, I follow the king's orders. You do as well. Now, come on.
Is he taller than me?
He's pretty tall.
Alright, I wish to step up into his grill and say, make me.
You don't see eyes in his mask. It seems to be all blackness in there. And you see him like almost make a step to grab his sword when you hear a clearing of the throat and see the king standing behind you guys and says, "It's quite all right, Kalen. Please step back. Let me speak with them myself." The Black Knight just still has his hand up, but then puts it down and saunters off. And the king himself steps up and says, "Now, I just have a few questions before we make our way back to the kingdom and the true interrogation begins. I'm leaving some of my soldiers here, some of your fellows, and I wish to know if there's any spots we should be aware of besides the obvious encampment that we should be searching for. Anything you fine soldiers might have found while you were here would be of great use to us."
There's a burning spider tunnel under the main hut of the fort encampment.
Yeah, that's likely to collapse.
So pretty much annihilated everything we found. Like even the pit of bodies.
And yeah, there's a cave with a pit of bodies that we set ablaze.
Pit of ashes.
Why did you set this stuff on fire?
Because it had the body of Mama Wuju, and everybody knows you must burn the witch.
We didn't know if maybe
We didn't
could
want to
reanimate.
return it to the body.
Yeah.
I understand.
Plus we need to burn the witch.
If one of you could give my soldiers general directions on where to find this cave, it'd be much appreciated, then we'll be on our way. We should waste no more time in this. These woods are not safe places. We should be off soon. And the
Fair
king
enough.
turned.
But before you go, before we head out, I do have one pressing question.
Ask away.
Why risk it all to come out here and get us yourself?
I've felt many bad things coming from these woods. It's why I asked for my soldiers to pick off these smaller tribes before we head for the big one. This particular war chief made his home on unhallowed grounds. There's a corruption in these part of the woods, and as you might have seen, it's taken a hold of, or had taken a hold of, the war chief and his citizens. I came to get you because, in case, well, put it frankly, there's any demons lurking about, I'm the only one who could handle them. If I could send a legion of shoulders down here, and they'd all be decimated by one demon. I couldn't risk that, so I came here myself to get you.
Is this Mama Muja a demon?
I honestly have no idea.
And why do we matter so much?
Well, you don't. But my generals, my inquisitors, desperately wish for retribution from this Merrill. They need answers, and I'm forced to oblige. You all will be speaking with inquisitors when we return to the kingdom and answering their questions as honestly as you can. I'll be sure that none of you are, heaven forbid, put to death for anything you've done. I know you were just trying to follow orders. I cannot speak for Meryl, however. Her fate remains undetermined. But I promise I'll do whatever I can to make sure she doesn't meet an ill fate.
I suppose that's fair enough.
I shoot him with my crossbow.
Do you, Chip?
No.
He says, we passed your camp on the way. I'm not sure if there's any things you wish to try to collect before we depart. If there's anything you wish to have returned, I will make sure to have my soldiers look out for it. But most of those supplies can be replenished when we return.
Yeah, I can't think of anything either.
Very well. Well, if you're all ready, we should make haste.
I pull him to start off as. So, does he walk away?
Yeah, he walks away.
So does anybody else smell the bullshit coming out of his mouth? This land's not tainted.
You're right.
Well, would you say that with all the possessions going on?
Because the chieftain said himself, it was all Maunja, and she's no demon. A witch maybe, but not a demon. She's a monster, sure. Doing that to her own people, sure. I may not care for orcs as much, did as much before this mission, but even that's sick by my standards.
She seems fairly powerful to me, but if you don't think she's a demon, then I trust.
The only thing I saw was a demon was some deer that our orc conjured up.
Right.
Besides, demons don't possess them there unless they're not powerful enough. And obviously, there's no demon here. Because if there were one powerful enough to change the landscape and change the entire thinking and thought process of an entire encampment, they wouldn't need to possess. They'd already have physical forms.
This just doesn't sit right with me.
But the best way to gain information is through interrogation.
Yeah, well, we're the ones going to be sitting in that chair.
Do you know how much information you can gather just by being asked a question?
I see your point, but I still think we need to be cautious. They're going to separate us and pound us away. So, we got to think about this smart. Fortunately, we got a few days to formulate some sort of plan. We just got to be careful where we're speaking.
I have an idea. I'm gonna call Theth in. I'm gonna lag behind in our little march back to the city. I'm gonna call theft. I'm gonna give him a message to give to one of my family members. They're going to ensure that if I'm not heard from within, let's say, 2 days or 1 day, let's make it a flat day, 24-hour period of getting back to the city, that they're going to raise questions. Me being from nobility and being so close to the elven, like, kingship, my people will respond.
Well, I can't offer as much when my dad is a noble as well. Perhaps he can raise some ruckus in the human quarter if my fate reaches an end.
Seems like for now it's our only viable option.
You know, we're trapped like rats, but hopefully someone on the outside has a key for us.
Got my key.
Alright, I hand Bosco back, and I'll let you know that he's not looking so good. In case you hadn't noticed.
Yeah, it's because I fed him a bunch of chocolate bars and
Peanut butter.
peanut butter, because that's dog's favorites.
Their bestest.
I think
So does Bosco look just like sad?
Are you gonna like inspect him and stuff?
Yeah.
He does look like he's suffering from a severe case of depression.
Does his face smell like popcorn?
I want to use.
I'm going to use my psychology-wise to counsel the dog.
Do you actually have psychology wise?
No.
You can make it psychology wise. Anything can be a wise.
I want to use observation real quick on specifically the king and his people.
The dog's paws to see if they smell like popcorn.
More so on the king's troops than the king. However,
What are you doing exactly? I'm sorry.
I want to watch.
Keep an eye on the king's people.
Yeah, and I want to see if I notice anything off about the way they carry themselves or anything like that.
So like, are you talking about like just everybody, like your soldiers and the black soldiers, all of them in general?
Yeah, all of them.
Okay.
All of, well, obviously except for the ones staying in our place.
Right.
I do have a question real quick though
Okay.
about the skills and such.
Uh-huh.
I know for an untrained skill, if like say when I was using observation as an untrained skill, it was based off of perception,
Uh-huh.
to which I rolled 5 dice, right?
Right,
Because
'cause
my
your perception's
level is
5.
So why is it when I am actually skilled in it, I have a B2 and can only roll 2 dice for it?
Because, like I said, you're rolling 5 dice, but you're untrained, so I
Yeah,
double
it's
your
like double.
obstacle.
Okay.
That's why.
I was just wondering. Alright. Yeah, I want to do observation and I want to try to fork in tactics for it.
Okay. Roll away. Now your obstacle will be a 3.
Oh dear. Well, I'm gonna fate die to get this one so that I can. To which I make it.
Okay. So y'all are gonna saddle up and, because 3 of the men get off their horses, and I suppose one of you gives them enough accurate directions to find this cave, and y'all saddle up on the horses and ride off with the entourage. You had seen that they had dug up Graves from his body and put him in the caravan with Meryl. And if you look inside, there's like, it's pretty heavily stocked with food, supplies, and even a couple healers who are actively working on Meryl as y'all ride down the woods. But, Lucius, you keep an eye out on fellow soldiers. There's only a couple of them left after 3 of them departed, and the 2 Black Knights that keep very close to their king. The Black Knights, you can't see their faces, they do constantly look back from time and again when they think you're not looking. They just look back and keep an eye on you 3. The other soldiers, some of them actually have been trying to make light conversation with you guys. Like, some of them are kind of maybe like old friends or just people you've met while in there. They seem friendly enough, but you do catch like certain hints of what they say. Like, some of them almost sound like they're hiding something, hiding some sort of emotion or some sort of feeling. Like they might be angry or scared. They kind of like they're just treating you differently than they were before you left. You just notice these small things as you guys traunch on down through the woods. You guys are going at a kind of leisurely pace, like there's no rush.
Are we like resting at night and all that? Or no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What
sure.
is the reward for such a thing? The
Oh,
3
yeah.
on 3?
3 on 3?
Yep.
That is a difficult.
Difficult. Sweet. I was thinking it was gonna be between.
Alright, so while y'all tromping down along, so I guess it's kind of like the next day. So, anyone doing anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking for one of the guards that I know, like I know by name.
Like one of the soldiers?
Yeah.
Alright, I would have you roll a resources. And if you have any advantage dice to that. I'm not resources, affiliations. Is a, or circles. I think it's, I'm sorry. Okay, this is like the first time doing this, so you roll your circles to,
Someone hand me some dice, please.
okay. You want to roll the big ones or little ones?
I'll take the big one.
Okay. That's your circles.
Did 2.
Alright, I'll give you a bonus die because you're looking at the people right beside you, so there's a higher chance. And I'll say your obstacle is 2.
2 successes.
Okay. And you rolled 3 on 2, so you get a routine test. Alright. One of the soldiers, just like you, is someone you're not like best boys with this guy. You're like, you've talked a few times. You seem friendly enough. His name is Dirk Travin, and he seems like a nice enough guy. Kind of like on the plain side, though. But yeah, you know him and he knows you. He's made light conversation with you guys as you've ridden along.
Right. I'm gonna like duck down for a second and like look like I'm adjusting pieces of my greaves and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And ask Jack if he'll stay behind just to help me adjust real fast.
Oh, sure, of course. Is everything all right?
When he leans down to help me, like how far is everybody ahead of us now? Like,
They're pretty good paces. Like horses move pretty fast even at a leisurely pace.
yeah, I'm gonna kind of grab him by his collar real quick and I'm gonna pull him in. I'm gonna go. Now, Dirk, what are you hiding?
What are you talking about, Corvus?
Don't bullshit. I know something's going on, and you're gonna tell me right now.
Nothing's going on, man. I mean, you're gonna get interrogated, but you're gonna be fine.
Dirk, you see this hammer? I've smashed children with this hammer. I really don't have any problem with the kind of thing that I smash with this hammer, be it your kneecaps or a small child's face. I am not putting up with this bullshit right now. You're gonna tell me.
Dirk looks from your hammer to your face. His eyes kind of widen, and you hear under his breath says, "You really have changed."
Yeah, almost time does that to you. Watching children get their face ripped off by hands does that to you. Having almost every moral thing about yourself tested and tried over and over again in the short span of about 2 days does that to you, Dirk. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to tell me what's going on, and your kneecaps will remain intact.
Look, man, I understand that you've been through a lot of crap, okay? I really do, I get it. But there's nothing, I'm not hiding anything from you, okay? Don't have to threaten me. I'm not, maybe I'm trying not to be as scared of you as I really am, okay? Maybe I'm trying to pretend you're the same Corvus that I drank beers with not just a week ago, alright? Look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, but I don't think we can talk anymore.
That's such a shame. Because you know who my father is, and maybe I won't hurt you physically, but I'll make sure it's really hard to irk out a living back in the city. Good talk.
Dirk just kind of like looks at you, like, and just saddles up his horse and rides off ahead of you. to join the others.
Well, I shot to New Zealand. Oh, Dirk, if you ever change your mind, I'm sure I can talk to my dad about, getting yourself an easy job, nice pay. You're a good guy, Dirk. We both know that.
He keeps writing. All right. You doing anything else, Corvus?
Oh no.
Done? Anybody else doing anything?
Because
Because your observation's going on through the entire journey, basically. So
how long is it gonna take us to get to the place, to the kingdom?
at this pace, it's probably going to take you guys about a week.
About a week.
Yeah. Y'all going by foot when you were suicide squatting.
Suicide squatting.
Yes. Squatting.
Someone's watching Star Wars.
When we're
Family Guy Star Wars.
at
Be a great Star Wars.
like when it's night one day,
Uh huh.
like, I don't know.
You are
like,
camping out?
I'm assuming it's daytime at 8 p.m. But when it's nighttime, I wouldn't do something.
Alright, well, is Dolan doing anything?
No.
Alright, well, first night since your guys' journey back home started. It's happening right now.
Alright. I wish to approach the king.
The king?
Yes.
When you guys camp down for the night, a lot of you get separate tents. The king's tent is constantly on guard by the two black knights. They stand just outside of it, arms crossed, trying to look as intimidating as possible. The king's already seemed to have gotten his tent for the night when you go to approach it.
Alright. As I come up to the tent, I look at the two bodies of armor and I say, "What are you guys? Like the door?"
We are the door and key. What do you wish with the king?
I wish to speak to the king, and then I knock on what was that one dude name that I was talking to earlier? Karen or something?
Yeah, I think it was Karen.
Karen?
Carol. I think it was Karen, yeah.
Karen?
Yes.
I knock real hard on his armor, on his chest plate, to make a knocking sound.
Karen. Dirk. Dirk Trap. Karen looks down at you. Just looks at you before knocking into the soldier beside him and says, "Get the king." The soldier kind of looks at him for a second before going inside. A few moments later, the soldiers kind of step aside as the king comes through. And he looks at you, a little serene smile on his face, and says, "Oh, Lucius, it's so glad to have you grace my presence this night. You wish something of me?"
More of a small request.
Of course.
It's always been sort of like a dream of mine to do battle with a king. Now, obviously, I don't want to go into a full battle with you, but I would like to maybe have a small sparring match while we have nothing to do this night.
The Black Knights exchange looks almost immediately and seem to be ready to say something, but the king raises his hand and says, I can understand a dream gazer like yourself, but I'm afraid I'm no soldier. I'm merely a speaker of my people. I cannot fight. If we were to engage in combat, I'd feel you would best me quite soundly. I would look much ashamed in front of the rest of my entourage. My strength comes from soldiers like yourself.
Then we should play a game of chess.
Correct.
Is there such a game in our universe?
Yeah, let's say there's a chess game. And the king looks rather pleased that you said this. She's like, "Really? You know how to play chess?"
I dabbled in chess for a little bit, yes.
Well, splendid. We should have a game then. Come into my tent.
Aha! As I walk past Karen, I give him a smirk and do this to his armor again.
You see Karen's fists clenched, but you see a little more restraint than usual. You can probably assume the king's had a few words with him about his temper. But you go into the tent, and you see that it's pretty lavish. It's got like it's even got a small bookshelf with books in it. It's got papers of all sorts of like maps and different magical rune looking things, and there's like a nice rug laid out and a comfy looking cot to one side. The king goes over to like a chest he has and opens it up and digs in and pulls out a fancy looking chessboard and pulls out a sack that you hear sounds like little pieces jiggling around inside. And he sits down Indian style on the floor in the rug and places the board in front of him.
I do the same thing, setting my sword off to my side.
Okay. The king digs in his sack and starts putting out the pieces. You're on black side, he's on white side. Alright, so,
Is there a way we can like
play chess.
roll this out in
I think
chess?
Matt's actually got a skill like that, don't you?
It's like gaming
Or-
or something.
Corvus? Was that the...
I mean, I saw it in the book. It's
Oh, I thought you got it.
it's war game one. No, it's war game strategy or something like that.
Let me look it up. Hmm. War art. Not that.
It's like really long arms, two short legs.
The head.
Yeah.
For now, because I can't find it, we can make a skill like gaming or
That's
yeah, make a gaming skill.
Actually, we'll go for a fast one.
Sure. There you go.
Alrighty, I would assume that would go off of
Will?
I would think will.
Yeah, I'd say Will.
Okay.
pretty good. That's. I wish I was in.
All right.
my thing like that.
So this is gonna be a versus test. So
Do you want
you have to
just,
get,
like,
since you're untrained, you have to
right
get
who knows?
double
Like,
successes
who's
to
a
get.
no?
You get 2 successes equal 1 success.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Like, you know what I mean? Like a box around it.
I think my favorite
Ah.
groups. Vision there.
I got all 4.
You got 2 successes.
So 2 successes.
He's got 4 successes.
Yeah.
You are, while you've dabbled in this game before, you really have for the most part no idea what you're doing.
No,
I got no plan.
But you do your best. You actually get a few of his good pieces, but you find out the king lets
That's
you
the
get
best.
these pieces, and soon enough he's outmaneuvered you and
Okay.
cornered your king in a corner, and
Yeah,
says,
think about doing that.
"Ah, Lucius, checkmate. That was a good fight, though. This is your first time
I like that.
with an official game."
I saw my brother play once or twice.
Just like
It was a very commendable first try.
the Hitler.
Not many first timers have gotten around me so quickly.
Well, I know the importance of troop movement.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
What the fuck?
Well, thank you for the game, Lucius. He
Stop.
holds out a hand to shake yours. His hand's very warm,
Mine
Is
are
that a
very,
beard? Is that a
cold and
chin?
clammy.
and a little bit sweaty.
And like,
But no, I want to use observation kind of as like while we were playing, observation around his tent to see if I notice anything about like the runes or maps or anything like
Sure,
that
go for
I
it.
might be able to notice is off.
That's off? Okay.
Yeah. And I wish to use tactics as a fork.
Okay.
'Cause
Say,
everything I do is tactics.
say it's an obstacle 5.
Holy shit! Shit! I'm not gonna make that. Alrighty, let's see what I get. Let's see what I get.
you could have that werewolf disease.
I'm gonna use one persona.
Covering first.
Yeah, I mean,
What it's all braided.
Okay.
Would you do that?
Mm.
I mean, you could shave it.
Yeah, but
3 successes.
that is so weird.
You got a 6.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You can get
I'd be,
another
like,
6, man. You
upset
never
my whole
know.
I would have to get 2 more.
There's a worse.
Fuck it, I'll try it. I'll gamble. Let's gamble.
Probably. Like the
Aw.
tree man.
Oh, yeah,
Alright.
definitely.
That was freaky.
That's
Well-
way worse.
You try to observe things as you look around, but you find yourself kind of drawn into the game more so than your surroundings. As you are having a game with the king himself, it's kind of flustered you a bit. And you aren't able to find anything really off about his tent in particular. It just looks like a regular tent, although a little, like, lustrous. But yes.
And, I'm assuming afterwards, after the game, when we've shaken hands and such, I get up and I say, "Well, my king, I suppose I'll leave you to a night's rest before we head out on the morrow."
Sleep well, my soldier, he says as he's picking up the pieces.
Yes.
All right.
To which I walk out. As I pass Karen, I tell him to sleep easy as I once again on his arm.
As to you, soldier, he says through gritted teeth.
I wish to go. Like, do the three of us have our own tents? Or are we like?
Yeah, you all have separate tents.
Alright. I wish to go to Dolan's tent for a moment.
Okay. Dolan, what are you doing at this moment?
Well, as I walk in, I immediately turn around and walk out and go to.
No, I should roll a perception so I can hear you coming and stop.
Oh, should I use observation and see if I can get past that?
Alright, let's see if I, roll.
I mean, you're a little unaware this is about to happen.
No, like I could hear his footsteps.
Yeah,
like
you can hear his
across
footsteps.
the
I'd say Lucius is a little unaware. He's about to walk into a FAP session.
I was gonna roll observation to see if I see him jerking off.
Like his shadow in the tent. You don't understand, I'm just choking
Like
a
his
chicken.
silhouette through the fire in the tent.
What would I roll with it?
Observation.
Observation. Are you training that?
It's going to be a little harder because you're in the middle of a FAP session, so you're not going to be as aware of your
Oh,
surroundings.
I don't know about you, but if I know that there's people around, I'm at like, top alertness.
This would be a good test. No, wait, I have to succeed for it to work. You know what, maybe I've seen some things the past few days. I'm not in the mood.
Okay.
I just
What?
figured that was your material.
Right here.
Alright, so,
Bosco is my material.
But
yeah.
yo, Dolan, as I stride through your tent,
What it do?
So what do you think of all this?
You mean the fact that we're just on our way back to the kingdom with?
Well, that and the fact that our great and beloved king came out here himself to save us. I say great and beloved with an extreme amount of sarcasm.
I think it's very odd that the king would come out to personally receive the Suicide Squad, like Corvus was saying, but there's not much we can really do about it at the moment.
No, that's true.
What do you think about it?
Something's definitely up.
Have you seen or heard anything that would make you believe that?
Well, for one, the whole demon thing that we touched on earlier. Not to mention the fact that if this is such a dangerous area, as he so said, that he could send a legion here and they would be completely decimated. He thought it'd be a greater idea for him to come get us himself when I just asked him to a sparring match and he said he's not very good. You see my thought
Perhaps.
process there?
Perhaps he feels like his guards can keep him well protected.
Just so you guys know, like, just for fluff purposes, like, demons are things of legends. No one's seen or heard of a demon in like hundreds and hundreds of years. The stuff people know about them are just like rumors and just like nothing can be like put to facts. Demons, like, just
Sure. I'll base what I've said off of like Elven lore then.
yeah, because elves do have a history. Like they have a long history. So if anyone would have encountered demons, it would have been elves.
Are they like the big bads of this world?
They're one of the few big bads. They're pretty bad though. Like if you accidentally summon a demon, you're pretty fucked.
Yeah, you saw what happened with that deer? Like,
Yeah.
actually, wait, weren't you there for the? No, it was Corvus.
All right. So I'm sorry. Continue.
But we definitely need to keep an eye out. More so, I'm keeping an eye out on soldiers' body language than anything, and I'm getting very, I guess you could say, mixed signals. The Black Guard, seem to always be trying to keep an eye on the three of us. They seem very tense. Whereas the soldiers themselves just seem to be completely off, as if they don't really seem to, I guess, believe why they're actually here, but they're kind of just following orders. They know something's up. I don't know if they know what's up, but they know that something is up.
Perhaps I could try. Were the Black Guards? They're just, they're near the king the entire time, or are they?
Yeah, they're basically the King's shadow. And they're really tall. But,
Have you heard anything from them, or?
I haven't, but I've kind of been keeping myself just as so it'd be easier for me to notice things. But I think the next few days or so, I'm going to try to interact with them a lot more, see if I can get a better read on them. But I need to know that if anything goes south, you're with me. You're with Corvus.
Yes, of course.
You're not just going to sell out to the king with the hopes that he will fulfill a promise of freedom to you. Because I can tell you now that he won't. I just need to be sure of where your loyalties lie.
Speaking of Corvus, when's the last time you spoke to him?
Since probably about when we set out to ride. I was actually just about to go and strike up a conversation with him. Perhaps if he's willing, have a drink or two if you want to come along.
Sounds good. Got nothing better to do.
Onward to Corvus's tent.
All right. Meanwhile, Corvus, are you in your tent, just getting ready for
reading.
Okay. Well, as you're reading, you hear the sounds of someone like coughing and saying, "Corvus, could I come in?"
Who is it?
Oh, it's Travis. Travis is one of the other. There's Dirk and there's Travis. The two soldiers that remained after the other three broke off.
The two what?
Two soldiers like yourselves. Yeah, you spoke to Dirk, and Travis is the other one. It's Travis. Could I come in?
What do you want?
Oh, I mean, just some conversation. You look kind of upset today, so I thought maybe I'd come in and cheer you up. I got some jokes. You want to hear some jokes?
Look, Travis, I really don't have time for this. I've got a few days until I'm about to be put under the knife by a bunch of inquisitors. I've got to make sure I've got my story straight.
Oh, okay. Just thought maybe you'd like some company.
Travis, can you tell me what's going on? Everybody keeps whispering behind my back like they've got this big secret that they won't tell me.
Oh, no one's told you? That's kind of silly. Well, they're all scared of you guys. Horribly, horribly scared. I mean,
More.
the rumors, man. All over the kingdom, people are saying your Suicide Squad, Meryl, Corvus, that weird criminal, that strange orc, and that big old elf. Y'all been slaying demon spawn left and right, just pounding them to the ground with no mercy or ill content. You guys have just been monsters. Crazy monsters. Of course I didn't believe it. That sounds ridiculous. But yeah.
Well, I can assure you, I'm pretty sure we didn't kill any demons spawn.
Oh yeah, I didn't think you did. That's stupid. I don't know why those rumors started.
What I can tell you is I killed lots and lots and lots and lots of children, or children. I don't know if that's any better for you, but
Did you want to talk about it?
you know what? I think I'd rather not. Honestly, I'd rather put this whole incident behind us.
I understand, but you know, I'm always here for you, buddy. If you need a shoulder to cry on.
Well, Travis, tell me something. I don't know. Have you ever heard of an instance where someone's blood would turn to acid?
Acid blood? That sounds a lot of hocus pocus to me, buddy.
I pointed to my hammer.
I like Travis. He's very upbeat.
I know, very positive attitude.
Need this.
I point over to my hammer and how.
Oh, by the way, he's still standing outside your tent.
Oh.
He never
I thought he kind of let himself.
Oh
in.
no, he didn't do that at
I
all.
let himself in.
Nope.
Like, come look at my hammer in here. I'll show you what I mean.
Okay. He steps in and says, "Oh,
The orc children that attacked us, the crazed fury. When we slaughtered them, they bled everywhere, and it was black like bile, and it would melt anything it touched.
could I see your hammer?"
You know, I guess.
And he picks it up, kind of like weighs it. Like, this is a really nice hammer, Corvus. You should be proud. Bet you killed a lot of stuff with this hammer.
I don't know if killing is such a thing to be proud of anymore.
But, I mean, you kill or you die, right? I mean, that's the whole purpose. That's the whole point.
Or, you know, we can all just move out into the country, be farmers, have wives and children, and not worry about it.
You know, yeah, but there's those farmers that we got, and they get attacked by orcs all the time. And they don't kill, they just die.
I mean, they still know how to defend themselves. All I'm saying is, this
Yeah.
whole thing leaves a bad taste, so I'm not leaving.
You talking about these little, like, grooves in your hammer here?
Yeah.
That was from acid blood?
Is it, I don't know, out of character?
Well, yeah, like, whenever, like,
going to a different point in time.
No.
Something happened to my hammer.
this, like, this is what happened. Like, you had that young orc on the ground, and you swung your hammer into his chest, and he threw up this blood, and you avoided most of it, but some of it flecked on your hammer and seared away holes into it.
Yeah. Yep. That's blood.
Well, I never heard of any orcs that could do that. They only just bleed black blood when you rip them open.
Well, I don't know how important it is, and I'm sure the Inquisitors will probably beat it out of me, but there was an orcish witch. She was,
Yeah, Mama Ouija, right?
yeah, how'd you know?
Those Black Knight guys were talking about her.
Yeah, she did something to the children, made them mindless zombies that attacked us on sight. So I don't know, maybe they're doing it of their own volition. It just seemed a little too weird.
I mean, me and my squad have run into a couple of those witch doctors before. I mean, they can be kind of scary, but never heard of any that could do stuff like that. I mean, I never really asked. Kind of just smashed their skulls in, but, you know.
How do you feel about orcs, Trevor?
Well, I like the ones that don't like me, but, you know, there's some that are different. I mean, that Orc King guy, he's not like any orc I've ever met.
What do you think makes him so different?
Well, he says he's a son of God. I'm not too sure about that, but I mean, he helps people. I mean, anytime I see him, he's barely even at his own kingdom, his own castle. He's usually out in the streets, helping people, talking to people. Sounds like an alright guy to me.
I'm gonna do a resources check real fast for cash on hand.
Resources check?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna offer Trevor some money to do me a favor.
Okay.
Trevor, I need you to do me a favor.
Sure, buddy.
Does anybody here have, is there like someone with a collection of books around here?
I mean, King's got a lot of books.
Yeah, could you go borrow some of those books for me?
What kind of books you looking for?
I don't know what the next few weeks, months, and years are gonna hold for us, but I believe in preparedness. I need you to find any books you can on religion and magic.
Okay, I'm sure he's got plenty of those. I'll go ask him. Well, Actually, he's probably asleep right now. I can ask him in the morning if that's okay.
No, you see, Trevor, I want you to take these books. Well, I need these books as soon as possible. You understand, right? Time is of the essence. If I don't get these books soon, it might be too late.
Too late for what?
No. It's like, I'm just gonna do a falsehood check.
Okay.
I just tried to metagame and I stopped myself on whispering.
Oh, I didn't even hear
I
what you
just
said.
realized I did that too.
What's it for falsehood?
Falsehood, I think it is. You have the book with you. I think it's will though, but you're.
I'm saying actually I won't do falsehood. What's
What?
what did I say just to try and convince him?
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Yes.
Um,
That'd be based off your will, I'm pretty sure.
alright. It's gonna be like.
Are you training it right now? Just out of.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you have it?
tried yet.
Okay. Oh, you haven't trained it yet.
Yeah.
So you're just starting.
Yeah, I'll be starting my first dog.
Hey, what are you saying?
Trevor, I don't think I'm walking out of this alive unless I get these books.
So, no, it's just the most refreshing Sprite I think I've ever had.
Well, there you go.
It tastes so good right now for some reason.
Okay. I'll say normally. It'd be an obstacle 4, so I'm making it 8.
I just do successes.
Okay.
No.
Is it- Buddy, you sound really depressed. I mean, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna be fine. They just ask you a few questions. As long as you answer truthfully, they'll let you go.
Let's see. Was it persuasion?
Yeah, persuasion, based off your will. So whatever exponent's 10 minus whatever your will is. So how many tests you need to have persuasion?
Alright, I'm just gonna do a resources roll for my cash on hand, just like pull it out of my pocket.
Okay, do you have your resources?
Yeah,
Or your cash on hand? Because if you
Where did we record if we have?
cash on
Actually,
hand,
Yeah.
it'd be like your loot, wherever you keep your loot, basically. And what happens, because everyone's resources are probably 0. If you make a successful cash on dice test, that you bump up your resources to 1.
Okay. So,
If you fail a resources test, you lose the exponent. Or you lose at least 1.
actually, I have no resources, so what do?
Do you have cash on hand?
I thought I had some. I think I spent my last point of resources just to have cash on hand.
Yeah, that would give you probably 1 dice of cash on hand. And if you with cash on hand, if you don't succeed, that cash on hand is just like you don't have as much as you think, or I'll decide depending on how you roll.
I'll spend 1 or something just to.
Bump it up.
Yeah.
Pump it up.
So
Pump
that
it
put
up.
like resources as a thing I spent 1 on, and no,
Yeah,
it's
you-
not a skill though. It's a attribute. So, oh, never mind. There's a little thing right here
Yeah.
next to it.
Record that you were spending fate point into your resources roll.
Yeah. Okay. 1 success.
Success. Right. You reach into your pockets and scrounge up the very last. You scrounge up a good bit of gold that you had. Make your resources a exponent 1 now.
I put like I walk up to him, put my book down, and like kind of cup his hand and put all the money in it. Trevor, I'm desperate. This is all I have. I need those books.
He kind of swallows and kind of takes the money, lifts it out of your hands, puts it in your hands, and closes it. And he looks into your eyes and says, "If it's really important to you, man, I'll go get those books for you. Okay? Don't worry about it.
No,
Keep them on."
Trevor, take the money.
No.
And like you can always use a new sword or something else. Buy something for your lady. This means a lot to me, and you're not walking away empty-handed, and that's fine.
Okay, well, thanks. I'll be sure to try and get those books for you. All right?
Sorry about. Does that drop my resources back down to 0 because I gave him all the money?
Well, yeah, I guess that's fine. Right. He takes the money, ties it to his belt, and just gives you kind of a hopeful smile before stepping out of the tent. Just as he does, Lucius and Dolan show up, almost like immediately after he leaves.
Aren't you guys a sight for sore eyes?
Yeah, I see you're palling around with some of the soldiers. It's good to see you not so
Anti-fish?
reclusive.
I bribed him to go steal some books from the king.
Well, conversation is good, in any case. But wait, what? You bribed him to do what?
To steal some books from the king.
Oh, that's such a terrible idea. You realize that if he's caught, the Black Guard will eviscerate him on the spot, right?
Well, he's a good kid. Worst case scenario, I think he'll get a slap on the wrist.
I hope you're right.
I hope so too, because I don't want to see him die, but we're running out of options, gentlemen. The days are ticking down, and I think sooner rather than later, at least one of us is going to end up on an executioner's pallet, and I hope to the gods if it's anybody, it's me.
Well, first off, seeing as there's only 3 of us involved in what's going on in this area, and we may be onto something very big, it might be best not to think in those terms right now.
But think about it this way. We're the only ones here. We're the only ones who really know what's going on. Wouldn't it just be easier to snuff out the flames before anything can happen? I'm just saying we need to be realistic here.
Maybe you're just being overly cynical based on what's happened the last few days.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to say to you. You're a soldier in the army for what reason? Why did you join?
Because I was an arrogant prick who wanted to gain a little bit of power just like Daddy did. And guess what? It's ended me in a spot I'd rather not be in. Honestly, if I could right now, I'd walk into the countryside, become a farmer, marry somebody, have a few kids, and forget this life.
Fair enough.
But that's not an option right now. And honestly, I've sworn myself to make sure you guys walk out of here with as least harm as possible. You know, if I can save you guys, and maybe you guys' legs are broken, that's fine by me. But I'd really prefer if you could walk with your head held high out of this situation with the least amount of injuries possible. And honestly, I think if we keep staying with this caravan, it's not gonna happen. I really don't. Maybe I am being cynical, but honestly, I'm not really seeing the glass half full right now.
I can understand where you're coming from, but I think you're throwing off the soldiers, and obviously the Black Guard. Black Guard are thrown off from the get-go anyway. But what I mean by that is, I need you to at least start acting like your old self. I know that you can never be that person again, but I need it to seem like you are that person.
Look, I'll try my best, alright? But like I said, I don't know exactly how easy that's going to be. And besides, I've got a bit of a plan. Something's got to be going on here. And I think it can be solved with some good hard research. Hence the books. I'm going to grab every book on religion so I can learn about demons. And even if there's a chance that there was something over there. Because honestly, if there was a chance there were demons over there, it might just put me to rest a little bit. Also, I want to know more about who the hell gives our king his power and why. And also, I don't know, I'm going to read books on magic and hopefully see maybe there's some connection.
You okay, Lucius?
Watch out for my end table. I'm sorry, I left it in an awkward place. And also, I'm gonna look to see if I can study some magic tomes. Hopefully learn more about what possibly could have been the deal with those children. What did Mama Wuja do to them? So I'm gonna do my research. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and stay out of the way more than anything. I'm just gonna try and read, figure stuff out, let you guys know. Because honestly, I don't know if I can face people like I used to. So Maybe I'll just stay out of the way and stay underfoot.
And that's fine. But when you do have, and there will be, social interaction, I need you to at least put up a front for as long as you can in that social interaction. I need to get a good read on these soldiers. I need to get a good read on the guard. And I know there's no way to get a good read on the Orc King. But if there's any way that I can see a split change in their personality, even for a few moments, that gives me so much information. That's really the only reason I ask for you to act like your old self, at least when you're around them.
I'll give it my best shot.
How again is your friend supposed to be acquiring these books?
Well, hopefully it'll go down something like he sneaks under the tent, grabs some books, and walks out. Worst case scenario, he sneaks under the tent, there's guards on the other side, and he doesn't walk out. But like I said, I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
Well, as soon as you finish your sentence, you hear what sounds like scuffling just outside the tent, and you hear one of those familiar voices, those gruff voices of the guards cry out, "Hold it right there! Don't you move anywhere! What are you trying to do? Sneak into the tent!" And you hear, the sounds of Travis just saying anything.
I'm gonna walk outside real fast.
Right outside, you see.
I'm also going to.
Okay, outside, when you guys all walk out, you see that one of the guards has Travis kind of gripped.
Blackguard?
Yeah, one of the guards in black armor gripping Travis by the scuff of his shirt, his sword out, and while Travis is kind of like spilling his guts out, like not like telling him everything, just like kind of just saying stuff to him, the guard keeps his sword drawn.
What seems to be the problem here?
Found this rapscallion trying to sneak into the king's tent. Not that it's any business of yours. Now, boy, what were you doing trying to sneak into the king's
Excuse
tent?
me. I asked him to go there.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I think he misunderstood me. I said I wanted him to talk to the king, but I guess he just misunderstood what I was trying to say.
Oh, he misunderstood, did he?
I was just gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fall asleep, go for it.
Yeah. How impossible is this one gonna be?
Normally be a 6, so 12.
Well,
You should do it!
Yeah. I have two successes. I'll just mark that.
Yeah, go for it.
What is it? What's the word I'm looking for?
What's the word you're looking for?
What that is?
Falsehood.
Falsehood.
Yes, oh yeah, falsehood.
Well, this is all happening. Can I look and see, is this near the? Yeah, this is near the tent.
This is right outside the, your guys' tents are pretty close together, so it's not, you guys aren't far away.
So the security is all focused on this kid. Huh?
Yeah, you got the 2 black knights kind of focused on the kid, and Corvus now too. And there's the other soldier, Dirk, but he's just kind of like sitting by his tent.
All that happened was I asked him to give me some books. I needed to do some research based on our last mission. Obviously, Travis, the little Dickens, misunderstood and thought I wanted him to just lift the books without asking.
Huh.
An honest mistake from a young, abashed youth.
It's going to be his last mistake. You have no business with the king's treasures. All of you should just... Then you hear a voice come from the king's tent that says, "Silence!" The guard immediately falls silent as the king steps out from his tent. He looks sleepy-eyed, like he just woken up, and he looks between the guards and you guys and looks back to his black knight that's still holding Travis by the scruff of his collar and says, "My dear Karen, why are you holding that boy like that?" The guard quickly releases him and says, "He was trying to sneak into your tent, my lord. He was trying to steal your books." The king shoos Karen away. Karen looks like he's about to resist, but steps aside. And the king steps up to Travis and says, "You wish to have some books. Which books are you looking for?"
It's like Karen doesn't even want a Christmas bonus.
Travis looks in the king's eyes and kind of looks over at you, Corvus. But he looks back at the
Sir,
king
it was-
and,
sir, it was me. I paid him to go get me some books. And,
why, Corvus? You could have just asked me.
well,
That fault falls to me. And would it be a falsehood to try to act drunk?
Act drunk?
Or would it be
Or if you
drinking?
quickly
Would it be
make-
drinking
if you
to
quickly
act
make
drunk?
yourself drunk, then you don't even have to lie. You just like
Just
shut
chug the
up.
whole thing.
I mean,
Actually,
but
no,
if you
I-
think about it, drinking, like when I read the skill, drinking is like being able to appear sober while drunk. So on the flip side, I could see you trying to appear drunk while sober. So yeah, I'd say it's drinking to try to appear drunk.
I want to try to appear drunk real quick.
Okay. I'll say if you do that successfully, it'll give you a bonus to your falsehood with what. I mean, I don't know what you're saying, but if you're trying to lie to him, this will give you a increase to your falsehood.
Before I roll, this is how I do it.
Okay.
Acting a little bit belligerent and drunk, I take an unsteady step forward to the king, and I say, "That fault lies within me. I took Corvus to the side as he was just approaching your tent after our game, and I just wanted to conversate with him, and we're both trying. The three of us really are both. Man, we're just trying to process what's happened to us the past couple days, and I took Corvus's attention. You know, we started drinking a little bit, and he asked for Travis here to come and get the books, but it's all just a big misunderstanding, my lord."
All right. Well, do your drinking, and if you succeed, I'll give you a bonus towards your falsehood.
What do I need to pass?
To appear drunk, I'll say it's obstacle 3. Three.
I'm going to.
Can I do something? Yeah.
What do you do?
Forte is like kind of like, I don't know, what is Forte exactly?
Forte?
I think that's supposed to be like your fortitude.
Yeah.
Well, I guess then, what would you say for me kind of like kicking his legs out a little bit to make it like, because if I kick your legs out from under you a little bit, you're not like, it's going to look less purposeful. Like,
Oh
like you're really going to have a look of shock on your face. You're going to be like, oh. Just to help his,
You should try to kick out from under him.
no, just like push his knee in, the back of his knee in a little bit to make him stagger. And like his shock and rebalancing will all be real.
Okay.
Because-
I'd say that is a reflex test. In order to do this, obstacle 2.
Okay. So my intent is to kick his legs out to make him appear more drunk.
All right.
Oh wow.
Hey, look.
Successes.
It's always when you try to do like the small things. And
You
do
blew
some
my
great-
knee out, you bastard!
I just like kick your knee into the ground.
You do it masterfully. How do you do it?
Well, I just like while he was taking that forward step, the leg that was closest to me, I quickly take my foot and just kind of push it in more to make his stagger a little more.
Gotcha.
To which I stumble forward, and
You get a bonus dice to
You go
your
first.
appearing drunk.
I'm going to, in that moment, I stumble forward and catch myself on the king's shoulder.
On the king's shoulder.
I just want to say, I love you.
His shoulder is also very warm to the
My
touch.
hands are very cold, clammy, and a little bit sweaty. Alright, so I need a 3, you said?
Yes. To appear drunk. Oh, Jesus.
Does he not appear drunk?
He got 3 1s and a 2.
You're so strong, my lord.
In fact, when you stumble upon the king, the knights make to draw swords as if they think you're going to attack, but the king quickly raises his hand, places a hand on your shoulder, and kind of sits you back upright, and says, well, do you want to keep going with your falsehood? Just not getting a bonus? Or...
Yes.
Go for it.
That would be falsehood?
Yes.
Alright.
Normally obstacle 5, untrained obstacle 10.
Falsehood is off of will.
Yes. Yes.
See how many sixes I get.
4 6. No 6.
2 successes.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at this.
The king, like one
drunk.
of the guards says, "They're spitting out lies, my king. Don't listen to them."
I
King.
step forward and like push Lucius back and I go, "No, my lord. As great as his acting is, he's just trying to protect me. I had convinced myself so hard that you would say no that I didn't even think to ask."
I understand, my child. Please, just tell me, what books are you after?
Honestly, I'm just trying to make heads and tails of what happened last night. I like books of religion and magic.
You are more than welcome to look through my books. I don't know how many answers you'll get, for I have pored over them myself in such ventures, but you're more than welcome. Here, I'll fetch them for you. And he turns around and goes into his tent, gone for a few minutes, comes back with a hefty stack of about 5 books.
As you turned around to go into the tent, I just look at you and I'm like,
Sheepish. He comes back out with a hefty stack of 5 books and passes them to you.
Well, at least I made you look at it. I was like, this guy's so loyal. He was gonna lie for me.
exactly.
Hope these serve you well, Corvus.
Thank you.
Quite welcome. Now, if that's all, I think we should all retire.
Do I, I know like, the drinking part didn't go well. Do you still get a test?
Oh, yeah, you still get a
for
test.
It being a train thing?
It was,
It's routine, huh?
what was the, you rolled 4 dice, right? Versus obstacle 3. It might actually be, where's the book, Matt? Can I see it?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Let's see. It's
4 on 3.
No.
Difficult.
Difficult,
Being a
sweet.
hybrid between a giraffe, a turtle, and Mr. Hinkle.
So it's like reflexes is a mix of a bunch of
But now
stats. Would I get a test on one of those stats then?
Well, no, you do reflexes, and when,
Well, no, you reflexes has a thing. You get
No, it says average of agility and speed, round
no,
down,
yeah.
reflexes, advances. those
I guess I
stuff,
should have
yeah.
done something else. You get a test towards, let's say, a stat, let's say agility.
Right. Well, would it be difficult?
Yeah, it has to either be difficult or challenging.
Yeah.
It was, how many dice do you have? 6 dice for agility?
Yeah.
What was the obstacle?
3 and I rolled 4.
4 on 3. It's a difficult test.
Total.
Yep. Okay. So, once he passes you the books, he says, well, if that's all the business taken care of, I feel we must retire for the night. We have a bright and early start tomorrow morning. We have a lot of ground to cover.
Alright. So I'm just gonna take these books back to my tent and I'm gonna study all night to an 80s rock montage.
Gotta study the
demons.
Is Dole and Lucius retiring as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but before I do, I get pissed drunk and pass out in my tent.
Sounds appropriate. Alright. Pause it there for you guys. Switch it back to Broggan turned dwarf.
Hold on, what's that? I know, I just realized, yeah, I did sparring for 45 minutes to train my sword.
Yeah.
Would drinking be like a training thing towards my skill of drinking?
Yeah, we can see that. How
Because I just realized how very useful acting drunk could be.
could be.
So,
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it trains your living damage.
Yes.
I'm an elf, I don't have to worry about that.
So how
Acting drunk. And
by the time you guys go to
talking
head back to retire, it's close to midnight. So how are you gonna get drunk? How long are you gonna be drinking for before you pass out?
He's gonna be like, I'm trying to study.
I'm drinking until I pass out.
How long do you think that'd take?
Probably a good. Yeah.
What's your fort?
I wouldn't
What's your
say I'm,
fort?
like,
What's your fort
chugging.
exponent?
4.
Take 4 hours.
4 hours? I'd say I'd drink about 2 hours.
Okay.
So.
So while I'm
Write
trying to
that down.
study and stuff, he busts into my tent and starts like doing
Oh,
crazy shit.
man. What are you reading there?
I'm blackout drunk at this point, but I believe I ran through his tent in only a loincloth, screaming about scorpions, and then I went to yours, and I kind of like made a mess of things, and then walked out without saying anything.
Then you picked up Bosco and did a waltz with him and then put him back down.
I'm completely okay with that.
And he was very confused by the experience.
Alright, so we're going to pause you guys there. A bit of all that you guys are all retiring. And switch it back to Brogan. Now Dwarf. It's the next day. You're all suited up in your colorful attire. The king had provided you a small little shanty home in the underground portion of the kingdom for you and the girl to stay at. And you had spent most of that morning preparing for what you're going to say to the Dwarven family when you approach them for request of work. And you find yourself... What?
Just as a player question,
Yes.
are these events? I know it's meta and stuff, and it won't really affect the actual game. I'm just really curious. Are these happening at the same time, or
Just about. Maybe a little few hours difference, but...
Wait. What?
Maybe a day or so separate, but you guys are around the same time period.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is we're still like 3 days out, and he's in 2 places at once. What?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yep. You guys caught on. I guess it wouldn't take you that long. I guess I'm surprised.
Well, I was thinking we were gonna do like our encounter with the king until the city, and then it would go back to Nathan. But this is
Yeah. See, that's what I was wondering.
quite the curveball.
Yeah.
No, I knew it was messed up since he took all those days to get back on the wolf. He was there, and our last session, he was already with us.
Yeah, that's what my suspicion was. That's why I asked. Based
So
on
you-
those facts.
Good metagaming there.
Now, I hope I didn't make a mistake by just now erasing this. But since it's a new arc, we record our fate and persona point. What we spend in our fate and persona separate from the last arc.
Yeah,
right?
you want to erase your fate and persona you spent before. Clean slate with your fate stuff. Alright, so, Brogan.
Actually, my new alias is Serveus Delatos.
Rogan, the dwarf.
Wait, Delatos?
Delatos.
You know what's the weirdest thing about that?
Yeah, that's
That's
my
it.
last name.
That's the
Yeah.
last name of all the elven song swords.
You stole that.
Did I?
There's a blood brother in Latin or something. That's really, really weird.
I had to have hear that.
Yeah.
No, it's just so weird how that
You know what you
happens.
do? You just need to erase that.
And you're a
name.
dwarf? Get out of my family!
You just need to write Stelios
I'm sorry.
Cantos, and that's it.
Maybe you can.
Serveus.
I don't know. Like you could probably say like.
Serveus
you owned,
Blondbeard.
Even better,
dwarf as a
just-
slave.
Just do your orc
Your
name, but
answer.
just change a few letters. Just like
Anagram it.
not even an anagram. It's like it's almost the exact same name. You just put a similar sounding letter in place of another letter.
Oh shit.
Like change an A to an O or something.
So yes, you've cleaned
Like
yourself up.
So
Gina.
instead of Brogan, it's
Brogan.
Brogan.
Brogan!
You've cleaned yourself up a bit and trimmed your beard, made it look all nice and fancy to be presentable. And you're standing now before the great stone mansion that is this dwarven family. There are a few guards positioned in front of the elaborate looking doors encrusted with gems and all sorts of wondrous trinkets. But they are way up above a flight of stairs you still have to go up.
I wonder when all the other doors figure him out because he's not greedy like them. Wait a minute, why aren't you drooling over this treasure?
And how do you know ritualistic magic?
Wait a minute.
Okay, so I guess
Something
I
ain't sitting right.
Oh yeah, also, before you parted ways with the king, he also warned you, since you are a magic user, he says if you want to perform any sort of magic, you have to sign agreements and legislatures, and you have to make it known and be in public, and have to be signed to perform magic. If you perform any illegal magic, there are certain precautions that are taken for mages who do this, and it's
Meaning,
very, very
You
dangerous.
will get bit.
Very, very dangerous to perform
will
illegal
get
magic in
bit.
the kingdom. He said you only get one warning, and this is it.
Keep casting magic. Okay, you only get
One more.
more.
Anyway, you
Okay.
find yourself at the foot of the long stair hall thing. It's like big old stairs.
Okay.
So what do you do?
Now there's only one doorway, right?
Yeah, you see, like, there's windows. Like, I say windows, but it's like, there's no glass. It's just holes that shape into windows, like
Yeah.
higher up on higher levels.
Right.
And there's like columns on the first level with the main doors, the crusted jeweled doors that 2 guards are stationed outside.
I walk up, knock on the door. Oh, I walk up and
As you
speak
walk
to the guards.
As you walk up, one guard holds out a hand. They're both dwarves, but you can tell by their stature, and they're dressed in very finely crafted looking armor. One of them holds up his hand and he says, "Halt, what business have you with the family?"
Hopefully to become part of the business that your family runs.
Another dwarf groveling for scraps. Very well, you can try, but I make no promises. You better have something good to offer. He turns and pushes open the door. Go in.
I go in.
Dwarf will see you in there. Well, you enter in, and as soon as you step through the doors, this mansion is pretty nice, all things considered. There's many hallways that go up different ways. There's stairwells that lead up to the higher levels. It's all very elaborate, and you see just beautiful sights of paintings just carving the walls, statues of these brave-looking dwarves standing up to creatures of all nature, and there's gold and silver and beautiful, beautiful images within this kingdom. As soon as you step in the door, a female dwarf runs up. She's dressed fancily, but you can almost tell by her face she looks very common. And she runs up to you and says, "Oh, welcome to the family. What business do you have?"
I wish to become a worker here, to try and get a name, or to try and work my way into the family.
Of course, Master Dwarf. I'll take you to Hagris. He's the one who assigns the jobs to those needy dwarves. Here, come with me.
Needy, huh? I say that under my breath and I follow her.
You follow her. She turns into one of the adjoining hallways, and you follow her almost through like a maze of hallways within hallways until you come up to a door that looks no different from the rest. But she turns to you and says, "He's right behind here. You might be seeing other doors, but just wait in line. You'll get your turn. Good luck." And she scampers off.
As I'm waiting in line, I count the number of people in line.
All right, you step through the door, and you see it's a room, pretty plain, but still having like its beautiful paintings. And it's like pretty much a long hallway of a room, and there's not that many doors lined up. There's only like maybe 4 or 5. And Hagris, you assume the dwarf behind the stone desk is Hagris. He looks like just not in the mood for this today. And you wait in line, and as you wait there, some dwarves have a short conversation. Some, even a couple he yelled at, and they had to almost had a fist fight before guards came in and dragged them off. And finally it comes to you, and he says, finally it's the last one. All right, boy, what do you want?"
I'm looking to start working here if it's at all possible.
He's got like a big book in front of him that just seems filled with names and other small details. And he says, "Well, got any special skills we could use?"
Well, I'm actually quite skilled at butchery and cutting of meats and whatnot. I'm actually learning how to tan hides and whatnot. So I guess just anything that I can get from an animal, I could help you out and
He sniffs his
produce
nose.
like that.
"You really have no idea what you're doing here, do you? The family doesn't eat meat. That's shameful. And we don't use leather or hides. Real dwarves wear solid armor."
Then maybe you can give me give me an idea of what I might be able to do.
"Well, are you picky?"
Not at all, sir. I just want to get my name in this family.
"Well, we can use another goat farmer. Running out of those pretty quick. Getting too many goats. Need more farmers to take care of them goats." You take care of goats.
I suppose so. Seems
Alright.
adequate.
You're a goat farmer. Congratulations. You'll start tomorrow. Yeah. You start tomorrow. First thing in the morning. First morning's light.
All right, and I walk away. Go back to my quarters. What am I wearing?
I don't know. What'd you pick out? You could almost have free reign. Whenever the king showed you his wares, you had free reign to pick whatever suited you.
Hmm.
He pointed you in the direction of the finely made clothes, saying that you want to look as best as possible when meeting the family.
I'm really not sure. Let's say he tries to look nice. Like the whole purpose of him being a dwarf right now is trying to fit in with the family.
Right. Well, the king tells you that the family itself, they have their family colors of earth brown, sun yellow, and grass green. So they're usually adorned in those three colors, and it's what signifies them as the family. It wouldn't be an insult to wear their colors. It'd be more like you're showing your respect for them by wearing their colors.
So brown, what, and what?
Brown, yellow, and green.
Okay.
So you'd probably be wearing just, finely made like suit, pants, shoes, all adorned in these very vibrant colors.
Suit. I can't imagine like the type of suit.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like maybe
like robes or something.
yeah, could be right. Yeah, robes would probably be more appropriate. So I was saying like I'll let you pick out what you would wear for yourself because you have pretty much free reign to choose.
Maybe like a green tunic,
Okay.
actually. Brown pants and a gray, like. Is it cold in the area that we're in? Well, what's it-
Underground. It's
underground is probably going to be like warmer.
yeah. It's pretty warm on most days,
Okay,
even
I'll
during
just
the
say
cold
a tunic.
season.
A
You guys
tunic is
are
like a shirt, right?
just so you know, like you guys are in the season of like autumn. It's not too cold, not too hot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and
Okay.
underground is usually pretty warm, temperate, cavey.
All right, so yeah, just I guess regular garb like a green tunic,
Green tunic.
and brown pants.
Okay. And yellow shoes. All right, so you see yourself out of the mansion. The servant girl meets you and says, "So, you were assigned anything?"
Suppose I guess I'm just gonna be farming goats.
Oh, we needed one of those. Congratulations. Just meet me within the family's halls, and I will direct you to where you need to go tomorrow. My
Okay.
name is Ivana.
Nice to meet you, Ivana. I am Sarveus.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you too. Good luck. Unless you head outside, or
I go to my quarters, I guess.
okay. Well, you don't really have a. You have a. The king gave you like a little shanty home within the underground itself. It's not that far away from the family. Like, you were in like a dwarven shanty home. Like, this is not horrible, but it's not like because you guys are. You have the dwarven family, the little shanty homes around it. Then like farther off, you have the slums, where a lot of degenerates and the poor and all that live. But you live in a very dwarf-friendly area.
I hope so.
Yeah. So you can just make your way back to your home.
Yeah.
Right. Well, going back inside, you see your sparse belongings, anything you had on you. The king lets you keep. You have a little cot. The young girl has a cot of her own. You have a small table, some chairs, a fireplace that doesn't have a fire going at the moment. Cauldron if you need to cook anything. Just your basic necessities. The girl is sitting on her bed, her feet kind of dangling off the sides. She seems to be staring at the ground, as she's done she's done for the most part since you've been there.
Huh. So, what's your name, little girl?
The girl looks up at you and says in an even voice, "My name's Allison."
Okay, Allison. Well, now I know your name.
What's your name?
Well, I suppose, I should just tell you my new name. I'm, Serveus Delatos.
Okay.
Alright. I suppose, could I practice anything?
If you want to.
Alright. I want to, practice, falsehood.
Practice falsehood.
Mhm.
Just like lying to yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Go for it. Well, as you begin doing this, you hear like a little small cough come from behind you from the girl, and she says, "Do you think he hurt?"
Who do you mean? Your little brother? Or your older brother?
Did he hurt, do you think?
I don't think so.
I hope
He was, your brother's life force was no longer there. He was being controlled by a spell. Or rather, his body was being controlled by a spell. Like I said, he wasn't there anymore. He wasn't your brother.
Did those things do that to him?
Things.
The things that came and killed my daddy and took my mom away. Did they do that to my brother too?
I'm not sure. I don't know what things attacked you.
She kind of scrunches up her face. She says, they're kind of like what you were, but small, and they had horrible teeth and they smelled bad."
I think I know what you're talking about.
Did they do that to my brother?
I don't think so.
Wish-
I think what happened to your brother was something that those evil creatures couldn't even do.
Okay. She just stares back at the ground after that. These are the first words you've heard from her since your little meet back up in the woods in the cave. You almost thought that she was just dead to the world at this point.
I am not going to roll falsehood. I'm going to say this legitimately. But my character says sorry.
Says sorry. She looks back up at you and she says, It's okay. Thank you for taking care of me."
This is depressing.
Alright. Well, after that little spiel,
I don't want to know if there's
Spiel.
player knowledge there. I don't want to know. Proceed.
alright, you hear a knock on your door. Opening up, you see another fellow dwarf. He's dressed in armor, just not as like elaborately made. He's got 2 ales in his hands, and he says, "Welcome, new stranger. Name's Van."
Nice to meet you, man. I'm Serveus.
"Well, Serveus, mind if I come in and share a pint with you?"
No, by all means. Don't mind the little girl. She's just someone that I was asked to take care of.
"I understand. Hey, little girl, you're pretty cute." Girl just doesn't really acknowledge him. He hands you one of the pints and says, "Here, brother, drink up. Welcome to the club.
I sniff it and try. I guess I use observe to make sure it's not anything weird.
Just to know why you do this, he like starts chugging his down.
And then I realize he's chugging his down, so I just decide,
Chug it.
fuck it.
It's a little bitter. It's not like the most fine wine or drink you've ever had. I don't know. Has Bragan drunk alcohol before? It's it tastes horrible. It's disgusting. But this other fellow dwarf seems to chug it down quite greedily. And it's not long before his pint size. He looks down and he's like, damn, should have brought the keg.
Well, I don't chug it, I just sip it.
So, what brings you to this little lovely hole in the ground?
Well, if I can be quite honest with you, then I'm going to roll falsehood. So I can, because I mean, would you say it's a means to an end to get my name in the family,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not just
I
trying
wouldn't say
to do
you're
this
lying.
son
I wouldn't say you're
convinced.
like, when you're the dwarf, I wouldn't say you're lying about being part of the family or taking up a job as a goat person. I mean, I wouldn't say it's lying because you are doing those things. You're trying to
True.
be part of the family. I wouldn't say you have to roll falsehood against this guy if you're trying to tell him that.
Well, I just see it as these dwarves, my people in the city, are from the outside they look very rich, so I really just want to get my hands on a little bit of that wealth.
Oh, I hear you. That wealth, man. I tell you, I've been chasing most of my life after the wealth in this kingdom. Swear to God, I killed like 3 people, but you know what I got for it? Diddly doodly squat. But what are you gonna do?
Why'd you have to kill 3 people? What do you do?
Well, I'm mercenary sometimes. Sometimes thief, sometimes scoundrel, sometimes a ladies' man. Catch my drift.
I don't.
And while he's talking, he's taking like ghost sips of this empty thing as if it's just habit for him. Well, you'll learn, kid. You'll learn being down here. You might do a little side chores for the family, but it won't be long till you're nothing like me, just scrounging the dirt for scraps. But hey, it ain't all bad. I got a thing, see? Building up a little gathering of like-minded individuals, if you know what I mean. Maybe together we can be better than the family one day. See what I'm saying?
Sounds pretty strange. I just met you, and the family is the thing that I pretty much came here for. Maybe in a couple of months I'll feel differently, but right now I just want to get my foot in the door.
I just want to give fair warning to the newcomers here, you know. Just trying to... Yeah. Why was I here?
Don't worry, your visit was greatly appreciated, and I love your welcome with this delicious beverage.
You like it? I made it myself.
Oh, it tastes good.
Damn right it does. Drinking his chugging the ghost beer. Well, if you're ever in the neighborhood, I'm usually down by the inn most times. If I'm not, I'm probably killing some poor squat. Well, see you later, Sylvanas Grastius.
Sarvaeus.
Sylvaeus.
Yeah. See, bye.
Shove him out the door. Alright.
So what'd you think of him, Alice?
He was weird.
I'd agree.
So, what are you gonna do?
Honestly, I'm just going by the word of the king.
You think that crow's gonna come back?
More than likely.
Scares me.
Well, maybe there's something I can do for you. I don't know what it would be, but there's a chance that I can help you out.
Okay. You kind of just gets up in the bed this time and kind of turns around her back to you and kind of curls up in almost a fetal position. Actually, gonna go to sleep.
Okay. I might as well go to sleep too.
All right. Well, on that note, pause it there and get these
Jerks.
folks in. Jokes.
Hey guys! Oh wait, shit. Ryan.
That's okay. We're ready.
Yeah, we're ready for y'all.
Switching back to y'all three.
Another thing they made them do was Froggy Kill. It's an old Navy thing where it's, they give you a 2x4 and they make you drape it over your back like this, and then you run like, I don't know, like 8 of these rooms one way and then back, and then they make you spin around 3 times with it and then lift it like 10, and then you gotta go do it again.
So much.
I've watched him do it once. I was just like, this looks ridiculous.
Alright.
All right, you guys ready? All right.
Yeah.
Well, it would be the next morning. You guys pack up and head back out on the road. Depending on what you guys want to do, I'm going to probably fast forward a few days. And if you guys have anything you want to do before you get to the kingdom, just let me know, and I'll pause it on a certain day. And just tell me if you want to do this at night, in the morning, twilight, whatever.
All I'm doing is researching.
All right.
Are we saying fast forwarding to where we get to the kingdom, or okay?
Yeah, if there's anything you want to do in the meantime, let me know.
About a day, maybe a little bit less than a day before we get to the actual kingdom. I want to call Fed.
Call Feth?
Yeah.
All right. You call him, and he's almost immediately at your side. He bursts out from one of the nearby trees and lands on your shoulder.
Hey,
He
buddy.
says, Master, finally you called. I missed you.
Yeah, buddy. How you been doing?
Oh, pretty good. It's hard keeping up with you guys, but I can do it. My wing's a lot better, he says, showing his wing. He doesn't have the bandage on it anymore. It looks more straight than it used to be.
Oh, I'm glad to see that you're in better health. And once we get to the kingdom, we'll have more time for me and you to just, pal around a little bit.
That sounds like fun, Master.
But until then, I have a very, very special task for you.
You can count on Feth.
I need you to take this. Can I just make up a name of someone that I'm going to bring it to in the elf hierarchy, or do you have someone in mind?
You can bring it straight to Sylvanas,
Okay.
the head of your hierarchy, your head of your order.
Alright, I want you to take this letter to Sylvanas. I want you to, above all else, no one can see what's in this letter. But I need you to bring it to Sylvanas. And, alright, how about this? Let me say it this way. If I don't call you within the next day, do you have the capacity to tell when it's been 24 hours?
Well, sometimes the sun goes down, sometimes it comes back up.
Okay. You see where the sun is right now?
Yes, Master.
When the sun reaches that exact same point tomorrow, I want you to bring this letter to Sylvanas if I have not called on you yet.
You can count on me, Master, but one question.
Yes.
What does a Sylvanas look like?
Right. Have you ever been to the city?
No, Master. I've always been in these trees with my brothers and sisters.
Okay. There's a well, I don't want to start describing shit in the city if you have...
Describing shit in the city?
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to describe Sylvanas' main hub.
well, basically, you've got the front entrance, and right behind the front entrance, you have two big buildings. One's the guard halls, where all the guardsmen stay. The other one is the soldiers' place, where all the soldiers stay. The Order of the White Tower has their own section within that thing. It's got like a small tower that raises up beside the soldiers, and that's where they make their home, basically. This Song Swords and Sylvanas, and she's at the very top of that tower.
I would imagine that
Where
it
her
has
office
a,
is.
a signifying banner upon the tower,
Yes, you have your banner of
the
the
White Tower.
White Towers above that.
In the city, there's going to be a very tall tower with same symbol that is on my blade, and I show him.
I think it's on your shoulder too, isn't it? Like your shoulder
Oh yeah,
armor.
we did do it on my shoulder too, huh? The same symbol that's on my shoulder is going to be on this tower. At the very top of the tower is where Sylvanas stays. I don't care what you do, as long as you get this letter to Sylvanas. If I have not called you
He murders
in one
everybody.
day.
Steals all their eyes. Okay, Master, I can do this. Trust Feth.
All right, buddy. I'm starting to lag behind our little group here, and I'm gonna need to catch up. But
He
it's
raises.
good seeing you again, Feth.
You too, Master. He raises up one of his little claws for you to tie the note to.
I tie it, and then I fist bump his claw.
Goodbye, Master. And he
Bye, Feth.
flies off.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
And then I catch back up to the caravan.
Right, so this would have been a day before. Is anyone doing anything before this day? Or are we gonna keep it on this day? Is anyone any plans to do anything before the first, like one day left until the kingdom?
Good.
No, don't want to
Nice.
risk stealing shit with the king around.
Okay.
There's one last thing. I wanted to do like basically a follow-up observation to see if like anyone's like specifically like body language and the way that the people are holding themselves, if anything has changed or
Well, I'll just tell you, based on what you rolled earlier, their body language is, you know, the soldiers appear very nervous. They,
There you go.
you see them like constantly readjust their grip on their harnesses and, well, mostly it's Dirk. Travis looks like he's still like completely at ease with you guys. Dirk has been looking the more nervous one. You see him constantly get glances towards Corvus, where Corvus isn't looking. And the Black Knights are what they're doing. What they always try to keep an eye on you guys. Now they're not really even being like secretive about it. Like almost every time you look at them, they're looking back at you or one of your comrades.
Hey, what are you looking at?
Then I suppose I want to ride up next to Corvus right quick, right fast.
Okay.
Corvus, you have a moment?
Well, I'm reading, but besides that fact,
I've noticed that Dirk keeps eyeing you kind of nervously.
oh yeah, because I threatened him.
What? Corvus? Why would you threaten him?
Because he wasn't being honest with me. I really wasn't ready to put up with his shit. I didn't threaten him too bad. I just promised him that he'd probably never make more than ends meet in the city once he gets back.
Why would you threaten him like that? What was he not being honest about?
He wouldn't tell me why he was avoiding me. Well, now he's avoiding me even harder, but at least I know why this time.
Well, you sure that's it? Just because of the threatened thing? Nothing else may have happened?
Well, I threatened him in other ways too, but that didn't work as well as threatening his income.
Well, I mean, you kill a man and it's over. You kill his wallet, he has to live while it's over.
Well, yeah, well, the first threat was to break his kneecaps.
So that's just rude. Just rude, Corvus.
Yeah, I tend to be a little more on edge lately.
Understandably so. I just wanted to, as long as there's a reason behind it, I just wanted to make sure that there's not like a plot or anything going on.
Oh, no.
Makes a lot more sense.
I just
that
feel
you
you're
threatened
rude
him.
not to be honest with me. Now, Kevin? Keith? I can't remember that lad's name.
Travis?
Trevor? Honestly, I think he's a good lad, but
That should actually
obviously he didn't make an impression on me because I can't remember his name. But honestly, he was at least kind enough to be honest with me.
Huh. That's true. Alright, I just wanted to make sure
And
about
that's exactly why I'm not cutting off his phone, but I am cutting off theirs.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything else brewing. I mean,
Well, I'm not gonna murder them in their sleep or anything.
oh no, I wasn't so much worried about you doing something silly like that. But the way he keeps looking at you, he's just very unsettled, and I had to find out why.
Yeah, well, I told him if he ever wants to talk and, be civil again, all he has to do is talk to me, but
What if he's legitimately telling the truth? As far as he knows, there's nothing wrong.
you're welcome to talk to him. But all I said to him was, when he's ready to tell me the truth, we can talk about making sure more money ends up in his pocket. But he hasn't talked to me yet. I guess he really doesn't care for money. Maybe he likes the impoverished lifestyle.
Or he could be threatened by you. I think I'm gonna have a little conversation with him
Be my guest.
and ride up to Gurk.
Alright. Meanwhile, while you guys are talking, Dolan, you've probably, I'm assuming, kept to yourself while you're traveling with these people. You don't really know these soldier shoulders like Lucius and Corvus have. But while you're riding, someone rides up next to you. It is one of the other soldiers. He's dressed similar to yourself. He carries a bow behind him instead of like the other soldier who carries a shield and sword. And he rides up to you and says, well, hey there. I don't think we've really been formally introduced. My name's Travis. And he kind of, while he's holding the stride of the horse, he holds out his hand to shake yours. What's your name?
I'm Dolan. Pleased to meet you.
Well, pleased to meet you too, Dolan.
Is this is the Travis? Okay, this is Travis I talked to.
Yeah.
Alright.
He says, you're new here, right? The Suicide Squad and all that?
Yep, it's my first mission.
Oh, wow. Kind of a hefty first mission, huh?
Oh yeah.
Can't say I envy you, buddy. But hey, you're alive. That counts for something, right?
No.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So, I mean, feel free to keep it to yourself, but I mean, why did you end up joining the Suicide Squad? What was that?
I was playing with the red thing and
Oh, I thought that was like water or something.
I
splashed
was
you.
doing this and it snapped and hit me in the face.
I'm sorry, continue.
Without going into too much detail, I got into some serious trouble with the law, and to avoid spending the rest of my days behind bars, I decided to join the Suicide Squad to maybe get my freedom back one day.
Oh, wow, really? Hey, we can relate with that. I'm just like you, man. I got caught too. Small world, huh?
Oh yeah. Where are you from?
Oh, and from the kingdom, actually. I've been there all my life. Grew up there.
What area?
Where the humans lived. At least I was there at first. But, one thing led to another, and I was by myself in the slums. Just kind of making a living for myself. Until, guards caught me one day. Sounds like something similar happened to you, huh?
Sounds exactly like what happened to me.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
Huh. Someone must have said I spoke up.
Oh, hey, just noticed this, but what's that thing on your belt? You look down and see that it is the doll you had picked up a long time ago, just kind of like tied to your
I
belt.
forgot I have one of those now.
You don't remember tying it to your belt, you remember
I need to
stuffing
write
it in your
down.
pouch and forgetting about it.
Hmm.
But now it's just hanging there off your belt. He's like, where'd you get that from? Is that a toy?
Well, I found it off of one of the orcs that seemed to be possessed. When it attacked me, I had to kill it. And,
Orcs? Orcs with toys? That's weird. Usually just carry swords and axes and try to stab you with them.
To which you should reply with something cryptic right now. Like, children always like to play with toys, so.
yeah, go with it.
Child killer.
So you're gonna mention those from a child?
You late term abortionist.
I'll just say that I'll just let them know that they weren't normal orc children. They seem to be possessed. Like they seem to be controlled by something.
I mean, it's pretty weird. I've sacked a few of their encampments before, and usually their children are just kept in hiding in their huts. They don't go out and fight. It's really weird. Never really met an orc child myself. Didn't know they play with toys. It's kind of interesting, don't you think?
Actually, I'm pretty sure I've seen one of the adults with one of these two.
Really?
Now that I think about it.
Oh, that's pretty funny. I wonder what orcs are doing with toys.
I don't know. Maybe yeah, honestly, I have no idea.
Oh well,
Play date.
more to learn, you know. There's always something more to learn. That's what my dad used to say.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Well, he was a pretty popular merchant, but a rival of his got a little jealous and decided to hire somebody to stab him in the back. You know, one of those kind of games. It's whatever. It was in the past. These things happen. We move on.
You.
Well, shit. No. Well, what was his? What did you say his name was?
Travis.
No, his dad.
Oh, he didn't say his dad's name.
Oh,
Never brought it up.
okay. Well, it was good talking to you, Travis.
Oh yeah, you too. I guess I should be getting back. Just to be keeping an eye out, you know, just in case. I'll talk to you later, Dolan.
I'll see you later.
He rides off to, like, the outside of y'all's little thing.
You getting at what I think you're getting at over there?
What?
What with murder and such?
What about murder and such?
Being stabbed in the back and such?
Well, that sucks to be stabbed in the back. No one wants that.
Oh yeah, and anyway, I'm gonna
You and your roundabout.
while we're riding and stuff, I'm gonna walk up to both of them and remind them that it's probably about time to ditch any of the orc stuff, so it can't be linked to us.
Did we not see the Piashkin? Didn't he have a doll?
Yeah, I took it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So, have any of us like examined it closely or anything?
Nope. Nope.
Wow, we really haven't?
Nope.
Wow.
It's been. I was guess you guys found this stuff like either in the heat of battle or after some traumatic event, and just like.
Or yeah, like we really haven't had a moment to rest.
Nope.
Alright, the fact that it seemed to have appeared on my belt out of nowhere makes my character, more interested in this thing.
You're gonna examine it.
Yeah.
All right. The doll's simple of make. It's made of some kind of white cloth material stuffed with sand. It looks like a little person, like a little human person. It's got little dressings and. But the weird thing is, its face is blank. There's no like expression on it. It's just a blank face. Like no one bothered to like fill in the details of this face. That's what you hold in your hands.
Yeah, do you want me to actually make some sort of roll for all this research I'm doing to see if I actually find anything?
Find anything worthwhile? Yeah, we would have to. I need to keep like a character sheet on me because there's a research roll or something. It's like appropriate skill for researching. You have to start training.
Researching?
Probably. We'll get to that though. Don't worry.
Research wise.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what you're holding, Dolan. You see that?
Since I don't know anything about magic or anything, research, a little bit, huh?
I know a little bit. I mean, obviously, I don't know how to use like casting magic. It's not really my thing.
He sings.
But I do know songs. Know lots of songs. But I don't really know much about these dolls. Maybe, perhaps.
I don't know if you guys are role playing right now, but if you are, technically this wouldn't happen until after you're done your little one-on-one session with Dirk.
Yeah, that's but yeah, I'll do role playing. I don't know
Okay.
if you were.
I figure you guys. It sounded like you guys are role playing.
Yeah, we should do the Dirk thing because I was about to delve into a kind of deep conversation with the three of us.
Okay. So is there anything you're gonna do while you're by yourself? Because you see that Lucius is going over to talk with Dirk, and I don't know if you're gonna be impolite, but you might either you wait him out or you can interrupt the conversation. It's up to you, of course. You just see him go over to talk with the other soldier.
I don't know. I guess I'll just like kind of like poke it with my knife a little, see what's in it.
Poke it with your knife.
Yeah.
Right. You cut a little incision, and you see that it's filled with what it felt like it filled with sand. You see sand pour out of it. Grainy sand.
Well, now it's no good anymore.
You poked a small one. I don't think you
Throw it
emptied
away.
it out.
Yeah. I threw it at Bosco and told him have fun.
Actually,
No.
you poke it,
Good idea.
and you feel a pain in your chest as soon as you do.
Voodoo. So I was thinking. So,
You feel like you broke the skin, but you're covered in armor, so you can't really check your chest.
alright, I grab it by the arm and grip it tightly.
You feel a pressure on the very arm you're gripping this thing's arm with.
Well, make like a grip circle. You grip one arm, and you feel something gripping on there, so you grip the other.
I grab it by the leg and slam it.
No, you should let Bosco play with it. I'm so glad I didn't give it to Feth like I was going to.
Jesus.
Yeah, but like this one just suddenly connected to him. Isn't that weird? Like, why now would it connect to him?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I
How
say,
about this? How long has it been there?
I say, hey Lucius,
You been that permanent?
would you mind if I see you? If I take a look at your doll you
Maybe a
got
little bit.
off the Piotchkin?
Lucius was just about to say something to Dirk when you say this, by the way.
Actually, yeah, I do have one off of Piotchkin.
Would you mind if I take a look at it?
Yeah, sure. I don't see why not. I mean, this can't harm me in any way, right? So,
Alright, I cut it in it now.
You grab his doll, and it seems like similar to yours. Maybe a little bit bigger.
Alright, I kind of like lightly jab it in the back with my knife and look at,
Like, you don't break the material, you just kind of like poke it.
yeah, and see if there's any reaction.
Alright, Lucius, you feel nothing.
oh,
Does anyone feel anything?
All of a sudden,
Like me? Do I feel anything?
You look around. If you look around, you
Bosco
see no one.
just explodes.
No one notices. No one seems to make any visible reaction after you poke this thing in the back.
I poke it even harder.
This time you break the felt, but you still see no one's reaction coming from anywhere.
I go back to mine and I poke it
Where?
on the wiener.
Should have fat when you could.
No. Just like
You're gonna poke it, or you're gonna try to break the felt.
I just grip it tight in the arm again because I'm like,
Yeah, you're just experimenting.
yeah.
You feel the grip return to your own arm.
So I'm thinking, why the hell would this thing connect to me, but Lucian's not connect to him? Well,
well, you've had yours for longer.
true. I've only had mine for a few days.
Yeah, no, but so is he. Honestly, he's only beating you by a few hours. Technically, so.
and I picked mine off of something that was hostile against us, and Piotchkin wasn't like,
He was docile.
yeah.
Yeah, but I still think it might need something like you hold it so long and all of a sudden it decides you're it.
Did you have one?
No, I didn't pick one up. I mean, think about it. Maybe Piotchkin had it on himself because he couldn't get rid of it. He had to make sure it stayed safe. Maybe that's. Ooh, could that be a control method? Have a bunch of voodoo dolls for people, and if they let anything happen to it, they gotta keep it safe from everything. So they gotta wear it on themselves at all times.
You drop any DNA in it, Chip? Is that how it activated?
You fapped on it.
You.
My character is very confused. He walks up to Corvus and like, okay, Corvus, what kind of? All right, so you've been reading like, what
Yeah.
kind of books have you been reading about like the local religions?
I've been reading books on. The books I've been reading are on many religions and many magics.
any about what would like voodoo be called in this world?
Voodoo. It'd be like
Oh,
probably
it's
like blood
dark
magic still.
magic.
Be around. It'd be somewhere. It'd be like a lower form of blood magic.
Well, just describe what's happening, and maybe you can.
Now we gotta roll for it. See how dumb I am. No, that's obviously healing magic.
You're probably eventually gonna have to do some of your researching.
Ooh. So if his arm, I want to do an experiment now. I want to cut off his arm, then cut off the doll's arm, and then sew the doll's arm back on, and see if his arm attaches.
It'd be better to do like a finger or something.
Yeah.
I ask you, is there a section in any other books about like blood magic or anything like that?
Do research roll. So it's based off of your perception.
Perception.
Wouldn't it just be looking at the table of contents then?
With this particular thing.
The old books didn't have tables of contents, so
So research is based off your perception, and this would for blood magic it'd generally be a 3. So it's bumped up to 6 as you're untrained.
but
You're just trying to look for general blood magic.
yeah, but wouldn't I get bonuses because I've been studying over the past few days and stuff?
Yeah, I'll give you a bonus dice. You've had some time with it.
14.
Well, you can fork stuff into untrained.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
Gonna spend my ARPA on it because it's gonna be near impossible for me to do this.
So what's your task and your intent?
My task is to see if I can recall from my past research what he's
Anything blood
yeah.
magic-y?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can answer his question. Well, to help him gain knowledge.
Okay.
Wait, someone just realized. So my doll I hadn't seen, and then it's up here on my belt. I
Yeah.
never tested it out before that.
Yeah,
incident.
that's what I'm saying. It appeared on your belt probably because you waited so long that it activated onto you. Ooh. That's my fear, at least. 1, 2, 3, 4. The odds of me rolling 2 6s, or at least 1 6, and then a 4, 5, or 6. Why not? I'll spend a fate point.
Ortho. Ortho.
5 successes.
Alright, you flip through one of the magic books the king had given you, and you do find a relevant section of blood magic, but blood magic through the history has always been a very secretive magic. Anything written down is really all up to debate and speculation. You know that it's very beneficial. There's no question about that. Anyone who's ever practiced in blood magic and been successful have been mages of great and powerful. But it's a two-sided blade. If you fuck it up, it's really gonna bite back. It's like what you find is a very general description of blood magic.
So, what's the interest in blood magic? Okay.
No. Is there anything in there about
Doll.
yeah, dolls?
I would make another roll for that, right? Right or whatever.
Yeah. You don't find anything of that nature. The book you're reading doesn't go into very many details about blood magic. It seems that whoever wrote this is not like most people isn't very knowledgeable about such a thing because it's so illegal. He wouldn't want to make it a known fact that he knows so much about blood magic if he did. This is basically like him saying blood magic is bad, don't do it, doesn't matter about the benefits, it's horrible drawbacks, blah blah blah. So he's a preacher.
How far away from the kingdom are we?
A day's journey.
How long have you had that doll by the time?
Just a few hours less than you.
So, it's probably best to go up to him and be like, get rid of that doll.
There's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Anything else?
Misery loves company.
Anything else, Dolan? with this doll? Or these dolls now?
So I still have Lucius.
Yes.
Well, I take mine and I put it in a box. And,
Suffocate.
Perfect.
no, I just I put it in a bag, I guess, and keep it with me.
All right. What about with Lucius's doll?
I destroy it.
Are you going to?
You know what? My character reconsidered his actions, and he goes back to Corvus, and I'm going to tell him about this thing I found.
So what do you say to Corvus?
Well, have you been noticing these dolls that some of the orc children were carrying around?
Yeah, I saw them. Why?
You didn't happen to take any with you, did you?
No.
How could I even... Something strange happened to me with this doll.
Alright, be more specific. What's going on?
It seems like it has some connection to me now. You can't tell nobody. But if I poke it or grasp it tightly, I seem to feel what the doll is going through.
Let me see it.
I'd rather you didn't.
Don't. You can trust me. Come on. I need to see it.
Alright, I trust you. I hand it over.
I kind of just hold it all in my hands, kind of looking it over.
Okay.
And then I eat it.
I pick up like one of the legs and kind of like push it back so it like kind of hits itself.
It hits itself.
Yeah.
You don't see Dolan's leg move.
Do you feel anything?
No, surprisingly.
I grasp one of its arms like he.
Dolan feels a tight pressure on his arm.
Right. So it's just interaction. The doll can't like bang against itself and make you do stuff. Do I see any like drawstrings like where this thing, what's holding the sand inside or whatever? But,
Yeah,
like,
it does have drawstrings keeping it together around the sides, like an outline. Except for the parts where Dolan had punctured it, like in the chest. It's still seeping a little bit of sand.
I'm gonna cover the sand hole.
Alright. Dolan, you feel the bleeding stop in your chest.
Oh, still bleeding?
Yours.
Yeah, it's a small trickle.
I pull out some of my medical bandaging and just kind of wrap the puncture hole.
Alright. Dolan, you feel a very strange sensation as your wound closes over on itself.
Some weird shit.
You have done a bad thing, Dolan. Okay, I'm gonna research some more before we get there. Hopefully I can find something on this kind of doll before we get there. Do you trust me to watch after it?
Can you not research it without having the doll with you?
I don't like need it with me. I just wanted to know if you wanted me to keep it somewhere safe for you so it can't get abused.
No offense, but I'd rather watch it myself, since you know.
Well, fine. I hold the doll by his head and then I go.
Shit.
No, I
Suddenly
hand the doll.
Oh, fuck.
But you can have this one, and I hand on Lucius' doll.
Fucking asshole, giving my toys away to people.
Wait, did he take it without you knowing or something?
No, he asked for it.
He asked for it and then rode away.
Yeah, kind of left mid-conversation.
Yeah, like I just get the dirt. He rides up, asks me for the doll, pokes it right in front of me, and then just rides away without saying.
So can I see Lucius from where I am?
Yeah, you see him, he's in conversation with Dirk again.
Right. I'm gonna grab one of its arms and pull like up on it.
Pull up on it.
Yeah.
Lucius's arms don't seem to move. They seem to move as he wills it.
Right. Well, it doesn't look like this one connected to him. Guess it's time to see what makes this one tick. I'm gonna take it back into my with me. I'm gonna start like poking, prodding it, opening it up, seeing it like dangling it seems to affect anything.
You're gonna do that like while you're riding the horse right now?
Yeah.
Alright, you poke, you prod, you tear, you bend. Lucius seems to be just his normal self while he's talking with Dirk.
No one else seems to be like.
Oh yeah,
struggling.
nobody else either. No one, everyone else is just doing their normal thing.
Meanwhile, Broggen is like in pieces.
Or like some small child somewhere that was a prisoner that we couldn't find is like slowly being destroyed.
But yeah, you don't see anyone else around you suffering any ill effect from what you're doing.
I'll put it in my pack and then I'll pull out a book and continue researching. Specifically, I'm researching Black Bile and seeing if I can find a reference to it anywhere.
Fair enough. Okay, so Lucius talking with Dirk. All right.
Dirk, my good man.
He kind of flinches at your call. He seems to have been lost in his own world. He says, he looks over. Oh,
No need to.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't mean to interrupt. Are we almost done?
yeah, we'll probably finish up. We'll probably get you guys to the kingdom, do one more thing with Broggen, and then we can call it.
Because I gotta get to bed really soon.
I understand. All right, so he says, "Oh, you're Lucius, right?"
That is correct.
Lucius
Delphus.
Well, did you need something?
I was just, come and check up on you. I saw you were looking a little, I don't know, you just look like something's off. I know we've never formally met before, but I can tell that something's a little off with your demeanor.
Well, what do you mean? I'm fine.
You keep glancing back at Dolan, or not Dolan, at Corvus over there, and I was just wondering, did anything happen, or is there something that maybe we should know about?
He looks back at Corvus, kind of glances to see if he's paying attention. He looks back and he says, I don't know if I should say. You seem to be pretty close with them. How do I know you're not going to just tell them what I'm telling you?
Put him on the rack. You should torture
Mental torture, go!
Your mother's fed.
Well, Dirk, I mean, you have no reason to trust me. I mean, but you have no reason not to trust me either. I mean, yes, we've been in the same squad for this single mission, and I don't know, man. Like, Corvus, he's seen a lot of things. He's been through a lot of stuff these past couple days, and it's eating at him. And I just want to make sure that everything's copacetic.
Well, I get they suffer, okay? I get it, all right? But I don't know. He's not. I mean, you all went through the same stuff, right? Like what he said you guys did. I mean,
Well, we went through similar things. Like we had to split up a lot, and unfortunately, he saw one of our would-be allies tear the face off of the child, and I mean, as you can imagine, that would mess with anyone's psyche.
he looks over at the criminal and says, "Wasn't that guy, was it?"
No, not at all. If it were, I'd imagine that he wouldn't be here. Considering that Corvus killed the would-be companion who was the orc, our orc guide for this mission.
I always thought it was weird that they sent that orc with you guys. I mean,
we all questioned it from the very beginning.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's like there's orcs within the Suicide Squads, obviously, but like this guy, he just, he's from one of the tribes. That just seemed like, I don't know. Thought it was weird, but I guess I was right.
Yeah, we all knew that. We could all feel that there was something a little bit off from him. I mean, but can't really go ask him now, can we?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But is there anything that maybe I should know? If there's something like you can tell me that I can maybe help Corvus work through this, and maybe help him get him back to his old state of mind.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you knew him before this mission, but like, he was a nice guy, He I mean, it wasn't his choice to join the Suicide Squad. It's not like a lot of us have a choice in the matter, but I mean, he had a good disposition about it. I mean, he was friendly. I mean, I had a few beers with him, and he was a stand-up guy, and nothing wrong with him. But I mean, the first time I see him back for this mission, he starts threatening to break my knees and get rid of my income or whatever. Like, I don't know what was up. I mean, okay, I heard the rumors about you guys. I was already a little on edge when we were ordered to go find you guys, but I was hoping that maybe, you know, Corvus would at least be a little bit of the same person he was, but I don't know, he's changed.
Well, you can't really expect someone literally just about, you know, hours after being out of combat in a very intense situation all the way around, and then thrust into a very confusing situation, that being that the king and the entourage, i.e. you, you know, come and pick us up. It's a very confusing situation. I mean, you can imagine that, can't you?
Yeah, I understand. I mean, the main reason we came here is because of Meryl. I mean, once we found out that she was not at where she was supposed to be, we had to come looking for you guys, because the king feared the worst. And well, I guess he was right in the end.
Yeah. Wait, you said that he threatened to break your knees.
Yeah.
You think you can tell me why?
I don't know. He thought that I was hiding something from him. Like, I mean, maybe he misunderstood that my fear of him to be like I was hiding something from him, because I was avoiding him, but I was trying to work the nerve to talk to him, and then, you know, this happened. So I don't know if I should talk to him anymore.
Well, I mean, you were nervous then. Was there anything to hide?
I mean, I don't have anything to hide. I was just scared. You know, a lot of the other Suicide Squad people, you know, are scared of you guys. What we were hearing about what you guys were doing over here. Sound like you guys are turning more into monsters than soldiers. Just didn't know what we were going to find when we showed up.
I assure you, we have not turned into monsters. We've killed quite a few, but we're generally the same people, aside from the mental scarring of having to kill orphan children.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I've never even seen an orc child before. Couldn't
That alone would scar you. But so there's nothing suspicious, anything like that about you and the king being here? Anything that maybe you picked up on?
I mean, no. I guess it's a little weird the king wanted to show up, but he said that there might have been demons and that he's the only one who could stop them. I mean, I've heard the stuff about the king. You know, people try to you know, take him out like most people do with kings and whatnot, and just rumors that a single touch from him could burn you alive. I mean, that sounds like a good demon killing method to me. Not that I've ever seen him do it myself, but you know.
Well, I would completely agree. But I just wanted to make sure everything was okay, and there was nothing to be worried about, and generally checking up. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate it, but I think you should be more worried about Corvus. I mean, I don't know if there's anything you can do, but I really appreciate it if you can try and just at least get him back to who he used to be as much as you can. He was a nice guy. I miss our drinks we had together.
Well, I mean, it's like you said, I didn't really meet him before being put into the Suicide Squad with him, but he probably needs people like you from his past to, like, I know it'll be a little bit difficult dealing with him as he is now, but I'm sure over time he'll come back around. He'll come back to you, be his old self again. Just gotta give him time, my friend.
Yeah, I was playing. Thanks. Yeah, I was gonna do that. Maybe in a couple weeks or so, I'll talk to him again and see how he's feeling. Thanks, Lucius. I appreciate the talk.
No problem. Good chat. To which I ride up to Dolan and I say, "Where's my doll?"
Corvus has it at the moment. We were just, kind of examining it. He kind of wanted to study it a little bit.
Oh,
I didn't make you mind.
No, not at all. I was just curious as to why you want 2 orc dolls. Maybe you wanted to go and play or something. I don't know.
I was getting kind of bored.
I could hear your thoughts the other night, and I could hear the fapping in your head. So
See, when I was a kid, we couldn't afford the fancy toys.
That's true.
that is a fancy toy you got there.
You know how it is.
Actually, I don't. I'm an elf. Money comes with me being born. But you're a very sad individual, and I ride away from him.
All right.
Dylan starts to tear up a little bit.
Just to save time, we'll call the session here since everyone's fallen asleep. We'll do the Arthur points beginning of next session, just to save time. So just so I remember that we haven't done Arthur points yet. So we're gonna do it beginning next session. And good one, guys. Some good role playing. All that fun stuff. Good. Thanks.
I told them
Good night.